tonight? It is Friday night. No, wait, why did I say Friday? Because Duff. Damn you, Duff. You threw me off. You threw me off. You screwed up my rhythm. It is Saturday night, and I feel all right. Right? Saturday. Sunday. I don't know. It's a day. It is a night. I'm adjusting audio levels. There we go. Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? It is a wonderful day. Tonight, we don't have anything. I don't have any plans. No projects. I've got some projects I could work on, but they're not really at the point where I should be working on them on stream. So tonight, we are going to print and we are going to chill. Because I need to record some B-roll for an upcoming video. And for that B-roll, my printers need to be printing. And I need to print some things. And when you need to print some things, why not check out Thangs? They're sponsoring the show tonight. And every now and then you come across a profile or somebody. It's always fun when you come across somebody who has a ton of things. And when you're looking for somebody with a ton of things, check Thangs. This is a chap by the name of MZ4250. Wow, why do I have two cameras? Why do I have two cameras? Why are you enabled? Not that camera, not that camera. Go away, camera. Hello, there's chat, there's chat. I've been printing with my resin printer a lot lately. And a lot of people use resin printers for D&D, tabletop figures and whatnot. So when I was on Thangs the other day, I came across this account here, MZ4250. I guess he's been active for a while, and he has a ton of figures, models, desktop things. And this was one of them that I printed up the other day. It's a dragon. I don't know, dragons are fun to print. I like printing dragons. And after spending some time on the Twitters, I'm kind of tempted to get a painting kit. For those that don't know, I don't mention it much because it's not really a thing, but I used to play Warhammer 40K 10 plus years ago when I was in college, the first time I was in college. And I had a whole Imperial Guard army. I used to paint all the figures and whatnot. I don't have any of it anymore. It's all gone. Ray forced you to send a super chat. That's not how it works. Ray, don't be doing that. But thanks, Tafox, for the €2. So I kind of wish I still had the paints because I want to kind of get back into painting minifigures now that I have a resin printer and I can print these super high detail models. I kind of want to get back into it. Is it Pete's Dragon? No, this is I think it's a bronze dragon or red dragon. But the dude has 700 something models and they're all free. He does have a Patreon if I'm not mistaken. And they're all, and this is his account. So these are all, available on Thangs if you want to print them. Do whatever. D&D campaign. There's a Werven for you. Because remember, if it's got 2 legs, it's a Werven. If it's got 4 legs and then wings, then it's a dragon. There's a difference. So the Game of Thrones dragons aren't even dragons. Like, know your mythical creatures, folks. Okay, so Talfox. The reason I kept calling you Talfox is, for those that don't know, my monitor is like 15 inches here that displays chat. And just the way the font is, it just shows up as, I don't know. If you look at it quickly from my distance away, it looks like a towel. MZ4250 sounds like it could be a Mr. Certain Cat Food. No, I'm pretty sure they're completely different people. I don't think Mr. Cat Food has that much free time. Airbrush Workshop. I never did airbrushing. I did paints. I did like the Citadel. Got a lot of money on me for overpriced things back in the day. I had a whole Imperial Guard army, like 3,000 or 4,000 points. Yeah, it's 4.3. It is 1024, 768. So tonight, we're just gonna print some things. Sorry, tonight's stream, I probably won't be a full stream. I think I'm losing my voice. I don't know. But I went on a little adventure today. And I did a field trip. There is a locals company in my town, a startup, that is making filament. They have a shop, warehouse store, I guess. They're started off in, and they are making filament. They have a little print service going on there. They have a dozen printers, a filament production line, and I went and visited them today. Hung out for way too long and talked for way too long. But yeah, so they weren't running today, but I'm probably going to do go visit them in the next week or so when they're actually up and running and producing filament, and do a video, like a behind the scenes video on, you know, how this stuff gets made. So this is actually a spool of their filament. The camera colors suck. It's a nice orange. Right now they're only doing PLA, which honestly makes sense. They're starting off, and PLA is the best-selling filament for, like, that's what sells the most. So if you're starting off, you might as well start off with the stuff that sells. So yeah. And one of the cool things is their spools are big. They are selling them differently than most other people. Most of the time when you buy filament, it's by the kilogram. But that doesn't really make sense with filament, because different filaments are different densities, right? So a kilogram of PLA, you won't get as much filament than in a kilogram of TPU, right? Or of ABS, you know, different densities and whatnot. So the way they are going to be selling their filament, and they actually have custom spools for it, they're selling by the length. So they are selling by 600 meters, which with PLA works out to, I believe it's like 1.8 kilograms. Yeah, 1.81 kilograms or something. So the spools are a bit bigger, but you're getting almost twice the amount of filament. And they do fit on commercial spool holders. So we're going to print with some of their new filament today. So I'm going to give that a shot. And I'm going to do a video on, 600 meters. So they sell it by the 600 meter. So all their spools will be 600 meters of filament, which makes sense. When you're printing, it goes by volume, right? Or length of filament used, right? It's not your weight. Your slicer will give you an estimated weight. But in terms of the way it actually produces the object, it's working off of length, right? Because that's how it works, right? So it would make more sense to sell filament by a volume versus a density. I don't know. That's kind of what I think. So that's kind of cool. So it also less packaging, because you get 1.8 kilograms versus 1, so you get almost 2 kilograms, so it's less shipping, less packaging. The spools are really cool because they're plastic, and then the tube in the middle is just cardboard, so it's a little bit more bio-friendly. At the moment, they only have PLA. They're like just starting. They are like just starting. I think they are on Amazon. So, and it's only like Canada at the moment. So right now, let me find them. Here we go. These are them. So they like just started off. So they're gonna have two different varieties, like an economy, and then a like everyday, and then high precision. $48 for a spool, and then $58 for 1.8 kilograms. Which, considering filament up here in Canada is around $30 for a kilogram, this is almost 2 kilograms. It's within reason. It's about what we normally pay for PLA, and it's made in Canada with. Trying to remember, yeah. Ingeo 3D 850 resin, which is from NatureWorks, which is the good resin. So it's like legit stuff. And they mic it all, and they have like the whole setup. I'll do a whole video when I go back to visit them on the actual production of it, because it's actually really cool. So yeah. It's like Prusament. Okay, so I don't have a spool of Prusament. I would like to get my hands on a spool of Prusament one day, but every time I try to buy it, when I need it, because I want to buy like their PC, they're out of stock. So at least in Canada. John, thank you for coming over. I think a few other people became members during the startup of the stream. Sorry if I missed that. And Taflox, I seen your other $2. Thank you, appreciate it. Trident build incoming. I won't be converting this to Trident. Okay, yeah. Oh, hey, new Voron. For those that missed it, we have a new Voron. Let me pull it up here. Printers, Trident. Hey, a new Voron, if you missed it. The Trident is replacing or superseding the V1 line of printers. Gisha, hello from the Philippines. Hello from Canada. This will be superseding the V1 line. So, yes, I know, I just built a V1. It is right here. It is like 2 months old now. It's already out of date. But this will be superseding it. So the V1 line is now a Voron Trident. And essentially, the TLDR of the update is it now has pretty much the exact same gantry as the V2. The gantry itself is now V2 compatible. It has a MGM 12 X rail instead of the dual MGM 9. So it's an MGM 12 X rail. I think there's a few other small tweaks. And then the big thing is it has the 3-point bed leveling. So because planes are awesome and 3 points to find a plane, and if that's how you do bed leveling, it now has the 3-point bed leveling that the Railcore has, Hevor, I don't know. It's like the new thing now. So that's the hotness. That's the Trident. No, I will not be converting Toasty into a Trident. I've known about Trident for those that don't know, I'm on the Voron design team. I've known about Trident for months since it, like dev started out back when it was 0.9 start. So I consciously built Toasty as a 1.8 for 2 reasons. One, it's a smaller build. I'm not going to get full advantage of so far the 3-point bed leveling wouldn't be useful on here. I'm having no problems with 2-point bed leveling for one. And I want the backpack. You lose the backpack on Trident. Yeah, that's pretty much the big reason. Simpler Zed, you lose the backpack. I wanted the backpack because it makes the print volume smaller, which for a hotter build, you want to keep the actual volume that you need to heat up smaller. Trident versus 2.4 versus Voron build. The Trident would technically be a little bit simpler. What is the electric screwdriver I recommend? ES126. That's the, I've only used 2. The first gen WoW stick and an ES126. ES126. I'm going to be putting out a video. I need to get my butt out of the, on it and do a video on those screwdrivers. So that might be this week or next week. But it'll be ES126 because I'm pretty sure a bunch of people have asked me and gone and bought one, and I'm not using my affiliate link, which means I'm losing out on money, which, whatever. I don't use affiliate links that often. If you want one, Banggood has them. AliExpress has them. It's a upgrade over the 121, I think, ES121. It's a Seaguire one. Focus, Seaguire, that's what I got. I like it over the WoW stick. It's twice as much, but it's got more torque. I want to begin with a 0.1, then build a Trident. Start with a Trident. 0.1, the V0s, which I got down there, are a great secondary printer, but they are space limited. They're only 120 millimeters cubed. They're a trickier build. You will get more out of a Trident. Have I looked at the Pine Sill? I have not. I know a few people that have bought them, and the first batch of them that I know that some people that got them had QC issues. I have a TS100. I don't need to upgrade that. I'm not having any issues with it, so I don't think a Pine Sill would be I don't know. The TS100's working fine, so. Let's get printing. I want to get 3 printers going. I need to get something going on the resin printer. We're going to print some of these awesome little models here. And then we are going to get the Mingda going because it's my only bed flinger that I could fit on here, and then another printer because we're going to get the Zero going at the same time. So I'm going to try this new filament. JKTM, thank you for coming a member. Just saw that, sorry. I got a Pine Sill today as a gift. It's awesome. That's good to hear. Good luck on the Trident build, Humphrey. Yeah, the Pine Sill, people are liking the Pine Sill. It's just, I remember a few people saying they had QC issues with the first batch, but I think that's like a good backup, or if you're going to buy your first one, it's okay. But if you already have like a good one, like a TS100, or I can't remember what the other good soldering iron is. I don't think it'd be, unless you're buying like a backup one. issue with the display die? I don't know. I haven't had an issue. Hi, where is the Ender 3 V2? $20, Thomas. It's back here. I have it in the middle of doing some upgrades on it. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and finish wiring it up. So right now it's out of commission. I've done a few upgrades on it. I gotta finish doing 2 more things. One of the big things, I gotta design a mount for it, and I'm horrible at cap. So I gotta design a inductive probe mount for it, and then I gotta finish wiring it up. But I don't have time. I got sidetracked by V0 and all this other stuff. So, will the Trident become IDEX compatible? Well, it's Core XY, so, well, a little bit late there. What is that? Streamlabs with the update on the voice. But yeah, so the Ender 3 is back there. You need a special gantry for IDEX with Core XY. Follow Eddie the Engineer on Twitter. He is working on that. So yeah, let's do some resin printing. Because the last time we did resin printing on stream, it went horribly. So let's do that again. But first, let's find some models. So I got Chidu box open here. Let's find some models to print. So we'll get this going. There you go. You want a goblin? Let's do a goblin saxophone. Yeah, we're going to print this guy. Oh, look at that. It's already pre-sliced with supports. Let's go with that. Download all. So we're going to do that guy. What else are we going to do? Didn't even hear the Streamlabs voice. Oh, that's why I got desktop audio off. There we go. Music. Sorry about that, guys. Loot. You want to do, let's do some bards. I'll do bards. Here we go. Dragonborn male with saxophone. Or saxophone, oh my god. Bagpipes. Oh yes, the giveaway. Oh my god, I am sorry guys. 1 second, I gotta get that set up. 1 second, I forgot to post it. Yes, the giveaway. Thank you for reminding me, I'm sorry about that. Let me get this set up. So right now tonight, 2 giveaways. If you are in Europe, okay, if you are in Europe, there is a giveaway for the Mainsail folks, the folks over at Mainsail, which is an interface for Clipper. I guess they're coming up on their 2.0 release, and they are doing a giveaway for the chance to win one of 2, I guess they're called Tesla lighters. They're electric lighters. They're engraved with the logo for Mainsail. It's kind of cool. I'm not affiliated with it. I have nothing to do, but they asked me to promote it. So I'm being a nice guy, and you know, I have no problem promoting stuff that if people, you know, want me to promote it. So I'm promoting it. So in the description, if you live in the EU, you can go ahead and enter that. Now, to offset that, to make up for the Euro folk, there's the form right there. I think I have it set up correctly. For Canada and US, I'm going to give away 2 more Big Tree Tech octopuses. I'm going to give away 2 of those. So, enter there. I linked it in chat, and I'll edit the description. And we'll, at around 10 o'clock, we'll do a draw for 2 of them. There we go. Save. There we go. So there we go. I think I set it up correctly. So enter there. We'll do 2 draws. For those that entered last week, I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to ship yours yet. I went to go ship it today, and the lady at the post office was not too impressed that I hadn't apparently gone online and filled out the customs paperwork before walking in, and due to social distancing rules, she kicked me out. She's not a nice lady. I've dealt with her in the past. She's not a nice lady. I think it was close to her lunch, and she just didn't want me in there. So anyway, so I gotta ship it out Monday. I had to go fill out the paperwork after. Andrew, if you run into any issues with the generator or the configurator, post it on the Discord. Open up an admin ticket if you find an issue with the generator. Both links are for Octopus? What do you mean both links? Oh, did I edit the wrong one? Edit. Yeah, there should only be, so there's only, if you look at the, yeah, both those links are for the Octopus. If you want to enter for the, go in the description if you're in the EU and you want to enter for the, yeah, it's on the main sale Discord that you have to enter for their draw. The main sale draw for the 2 Tesla lighters, that is completely their thing. I have no control over that. I'm just advertising it for them. They wanted me to raise some awareness. The shipping fee, it shouldn't be too bad. They wouldn't tell me how much exactly it was because they couldn't ship it because I didn't have the paperwork, but it shouldn't be too bad. So, good to know Canada Postal. There's 2 ladies at my local post office. One of them's a very nice lady. The other one is, I think she's close to retiring. She just doesn't care anymore. So, okay, back to printing stuff. So we got the goblin with a saxophone. We got the dragonborn male with bagpipes. Let's get one more. We're gonna print 3 models. Let's see here. So what do we got? We got the band, we got the saxophone, bagpipes, and we need somebody else. We need a singer. We need a singer for our band. Who looks like a singer? Although I think bards in D&D, there wouldn't be an actual singing character. So. Mouse folk? Yeah, let's go with the little mousy guy. Mike 3DP, hello! There we go. So let me unzip all these guys and get them all loaded up here. No problem, Lenovar. Lenovar was the guy, well, him and another one were the ones that requested it. Again, if you guys like, if anyone here is running like a 3D printer store or like just wants exposure and you have a decent, you know, I have no problem giving shout outs to people that do community things or giveaways or startups that do, you know, decent products. Like I don't care. I have no problem giving a shout out if somebody wants a shout out. So let's see here. Open this up. Downloads. Supported. So we got the mouse folk. That guy. Nope. And the goblin saxophone. Pretty supported. Let's find one more. We got room for one more on here. Let's find one more guy. Did you know anything about recent Clipper bed mesh issues folks have been having? I have not heard of any issues. I only update my firmware if I need to update it or it's a new build. I very rarely consistently update everything on the fly in case something breaks. And I have like 9 or 6 or 7, I don't even know how many printers I have running Clipper, and it's a pain in the butt to keep track of them all. So I just have a tendency to just kind of let them roll with what they have. Let's see here. What's this? A were-shark. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna do a were-shark. Download all. You can see all the random files I've downloaded over the past weeks. Free supported. There we go. Oh, he's a big model. Okay, let's see. I'll put you over there. Put you over there. You gotta fit in there. Rotate. Pivot. Pivot. There we go. So we are good there. Slice. There, shark. You blind? Ha. Where shark? There, shark. Who's shark? Why shark? Why shark? Why shark? So we will get that going. And then let me get some power to this Mingda here. And we'll get this guy going. And then I think we'll also get something going on the V0. We'll print something on the V0. So we'll get 3 printers going. I'll drop a controller board because, you know, everyone has an Ender 3 V2 controller board just sitting on their desk somewhere. It's always good to have. You're plugged in, you're plugged in. You can go over here. Save to USB. Nothing wrong with that, Nero. Why fix if it ain't broke? Pretty much. That's what I am with firmwares. Unless there's like an issue with the firmware, I very rarely will change it, or if I need a new feature, right? Like, oh, hey, this is running Clipper from before Input Shaper was a thing. I want to run Input Shaper. I guess I got to change it. Like, so at that point I will, but usually if it's like, oh, hey, there's just an update, I usually won't touch it, simply for the fact that, hey, it might break. Like, I know they test stuff before they push it out, but you never know. I've just swapped to an Octopus my printer today. Nice piece of kit that gives me the extra 2 slots to run an Enraged Rabbit. Exactly. Because you need, I'm tempted to do that on Switchwire. So for those that don't know, I will be doing an Enraged Rabbit at some point. Right now they are, Et is finalizing the, he's basically finalizing home menu, the design for the the newest update for it. So at this time, I'm waiting for all that to get finalized, and then Mr. Deep Fried Hero is going to update the kit, and then he'll push the kit to me. So it will be a little bit before I do the build. And that's just going to be because I'm going to be waiting on the final revision of it. I don't want, well, I can't do it till I get the kit, but it makes more sense to wait till the, like, a finalized revision of it is out before I do that. So I will be doing the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder, and that will be going on the Switchwire. Why can't normal printers switch to USB instead of micro SD? This can do USB. I haven't done the firmware update, but the production firmware for this will apparently be able to do USB. I just haven't done it yet. Because I'm running it stock still. So that is now saved. So let me check that USB and plug that in. Baker Viking, hello, how are you doing? But yeah, the I think most of the newer printers that are coming out, I know this one does it. I think the Aquila does. Where you can, I can't remember which one. Whatever one Joel was playing with the other day. That one can also do USB. There we go. It's one thing I like about resin printers. You just push a button and it goes. You don't need to level beds or heat up anything. You just push it and go. What's the Enraged Rabbit? It's a multi-material setup. So if you know what a Prusa MMU is, the Enraged Rabbit's an open source. I think the Prusa MMU is open source anyways. But this is another MMU type setup, but it's expandable. Technically as many different cartridges as you want for different filaments. I will be doing a 6 color or 6 unit build. So I'll be able to do 6 different filament types at the same time. And it does the whole where it retracts filament out and pushes it into the extruder and whatnot. So I will be doing that. That will be my next, one of my next projects. But Mr. Deep Fried Hero is also going to be doing another kit of another community project type build in the future. And it's a small kit for a small printer. And it looks like I will be getting that kit before the other kit. So I will be doing another printer build probably in the coming weeks, potentially month, depending on when it shows up. Help if I cut that into a angle. There we go. So, extrude, load. There we go. Okay, you know you're lazy when instead of, going through the manual or through the menu to find the cooldown button, you just find it easier just to reset the printer. Hey, look, now it's cooling down. So, level the bed, and let's find something to print on this guy. Is Nero even allowed to build anything other than a Voron? Well, technically the Micron is a community project that's not a Voron. So that's technically involved. It doesn't have a Voron in the name. It's a Micron. And everyone say hi, David, because David's here. You know the rule. You know the drill. Go say hi, David, everyone. Yeah, good point, Steven. It does get a serial because it is a Voron. Well, it's a derivative. What are we going to print? So I have orange filament. What is fun to print in orange filament? What is fun to print in orange filament? Not something too crazy. I want to print something kind of big, but not too big. But it's got to be an orange filament. Oh, there we go. Now it's doing that thing. Right. Somebody said hello, Joel. Is Joel here? Joel. Oh, hi, Joel. Everyone say hi, Joel. Joel's here. A pumpkin. Let me see if I can find a pumpkin. Miss Minutes. I already did a Miss Minutes. Where did I put her? Yeah. I guess it is a her. It does have a female voice, but you don't know for sure because it's a clock. I already did a Miss Minutes. But you know what? Let's do another Miss Minutes. I like the Miss Minutes. Let's do a bigger Miss Minutes. I can remember which way this SD card goes in. There we go. There's a problem with this disc. There's always a problem with this disc. Okay. Yeah, let's do the Miss Minutes. I like the Miss Minutes model. It is a nice model. Okay, so we got generic PLA. That. Discard. Where is the missed minutes? Oh, I already downloaded it. Where is she at? I'll just download it again. Download model. I've already talked about Trident. Yes, I have talked about the Trident. It is, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream, but TLDR, it's the succeeder, or it supersedes the V1 line. So technically the V1 is now retired. It is now Trident. That is just how it is. It is now Trident. And 3-point bed leveling. So it can do the bed leveling. So instead of the 2-point that the V1 has, it's now 3-point. And then the gantry is the same gantry now, like instead of being upside down like it is on the V1.8, it's now the same gantry as the V2, but it's got an MGM 12 and a few other small tweaks. So there is that. So we got ourselves a missed minutes here. Let's scale her up a bit because I do want to print something a little bit bigger on here. Let's go 125%. And then we are going to need some support. Need some support under the hands. You can tell I've been doing a lot of resin printing where I'm now wanting to paint on supports instead of letting it auto-generate supports. We'll do some there. The last time I printed one of these, I let it auto-generate supports and it went way too crazy on supports and it took me forever to get them all off. I think that should be it for supports that it really needs. Should be okay. 0.2 layer height, 4.3 slicing, 0.2, supports for support enforcers only. So we'll do that. That should be okay, I believe, between arms and legs. Yep, so the arms and the legs. That should be okay. I think the overhang here should be okay by then. In legs and arms. Oh. Come on, super slicer. I gotta update the super slicer on this machine. Yeah, the first one of these, this one, I let it auto-generate supports, and this whole bottom area was like caked in supports. It took. Why can't you donate anymore? You should be able to. Super chat. Yeah, this area right here should be okay. I think right here is really the only area that needs it. This should be okay, because I don't want supports on the feet. Yeah, we'll roll with that. We'll roll with that. That should be okay. Export G code. Save. Heat bed to 60. The palm of the hand should be okay. That looks about a 45. That should be okay. Plus, it's good for the test. Support the nose, the nose, the nose. What nose? Support the nose. What do you mean support the nose? There is no nose. The nose, nose, there's no nose. Nose. David, 49. I could still donate. Okay. So we know that's working. Thanks, David. Here, let me, alerts, refresh browser cache. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it's the lag out goes away. Geek with the Jeep started using Super Slicer.
I can still
donate.
love
Super Slicer. Like, once you get used to it, it is awesome. It's just you gotta know that it doesn't have training wheels. You need to take this. You need to have a good profile to start with, or you need to really go through the settings and tune it for your printer before you go. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit funky. Support the ridge on the coin. I did support the ridge. I do have the ridge supported. Yeah, I got right there. And then after that, it should be okay. It shouldn't be too bad. You know what? Here, you know what? I'll paint a little bit more support on. I'll do... There. There. And there. There. Slice it. There you go.
Mine works
a
too.
whole bunch of numbers. 294. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yours works. That's good. And Burke, thank you for becoming a member. Okay, now Super Chat's not reading it out. Why aren't you working, Super Chat? Super Chat. Why aren't you working, Super Chat? Eric, $10. Not that it popped out. Well, Eric, there's your attention. What is a micron? Okay, so if you know what a tiny M is, a tiny M is basically building a V0 using
Not there and pop out
2020
slightly
and,
smiling face.
NEMA
I've been
17.
gone all
So you're
summer.
building a V0
WTF as a
using
Mercon?
larger Voron parts. A micron is building a V2 using 1515 and NEMA 17 stuff. So it's tiny. It's a mini V2. Thanks for your help on DS and YouTube. Got my Marlin printer running with Clipper. Awesome. So it's no longer a Marlin printer then. It's a Clipper printer. There we go. Okay, that should be that there. So actually, make sure it's saved correctly. No, it did not. Shoot, 1 second. But that is good to hear. That is good to hear. Tried Super Slicer for a whole weekend and couldn't get a good print to save my life for 19 hours over Saturday and Sunday on the same model, just terrible adjusted every setting I could. Depends on your printer. It is basically Prusa Slicer. So you can use a Prusa Slicer profile as a base, and then export that into Prusa Slicer or import it into Prusa Slicer and go from there. The thing is, it doesn't have a lot of the, somebody explained it to me a very good way. It basically is Prusa Slicer without the built-in tuning to make it, there's a lot more that you can adjust in Super Slicer. So if you don't adjust it properly, it doesn't come out good because it's not assuming as much. Okay, print, miss minutes. Okay, there we go. Why are you? Stop. Stop. Mouse is not heating up. There we go. Okay. Gotta wait for those to heat up. For some reason it decided to go without heating up. Is there a bomb for upgrading the V0 to 0.1? On the Voron website, printers V0. I don't configurator. Yeah, so go to V0, configurator next. I have a Voron 0. Give me only the parts I need. There you go. So these are all the parts you need if you want to upgrade a V0.0 to a V0.1. So there you go. That is what you need. What printer is that? This is a Mingda Magician X. I'm currently putting hours on it because I want to test how... Okay, I gotta move that over a bit. I want to see how this thing performs once you put a bunch of hours on it, because it's an Ender clone. Okay, we all know it's an Ender clone. Okay, drop that down, baby step. Decrease. It's an Ender clone. You know it's an Ender clone. I know it's an Ender clone. We all know it's an Ender clone. But it's built using a lot of injection molded parts. And I really want to see how it performs long term with those parts, and especially with the bed probe. Because right now, if you saw me changing the filament on here, the tool head on here is, it's not that rigid, but it's a 3D printer. There's no forces on the tool head. So will it be an issue in the long term? I don't know. We'll find out. Joel, I cannot wait to see the first Magician X they sent me. Yeah, you had issues with adjusting the V-wheel. Mine, I had no issues. If you go watch the stream of unboxing it, I dug into it to try and find something wrong. Mine shipped before you posted about it. So they couldn't have done anything to mine differently. Like they couldn't have, you know, dug and sent me a better one. Yeah, I don't know. So mine's been pretty okay, other than that not sticking at all. Back. Stop the print. That's not sticking to the bed. I gotta clean the bed. So I think I lucked out. The donation voice and ding. I'm not even hearing it on my end. Here, let me turn it down. Something's borked with it because I'm not hearing the donation ding at all. Oh yeah, I gotta clean my bed here. Where is my ISO? Is that? Namgria, $5. Yeah, why am I not hearing the notification? Let me just turn it off there. Namgria, $5. Only Benchies now has the hottest content. Exactly. So right now, if you're like on OnlyFans, I know they're getting rid of all the adult stuff. So if you need an alternative, there's always onlybenchies.com. So if you're not subscribed to onlybenchies.com, right? Make sure you take the time, go to onlybenchies.com, and make sure you're subscribed. Ring all the bells there are. You know, like the smash button and other things that YouTubers say. Try this again. Thursday, don't do that. Do need to keep it PG on YouTube. Layers extrude too much and curl up on the side. Large prints on the outside ring are fine. Which wire printer suddenly being named like smartphones from the 2010s? The Magician X. Would that be a smartphone from the 2010s? A Magician? At least they're not doing like they used to, where it's like, shoot, what was the old names? Like, Up, Mini, Box. Like, there used to be like a lot of names that they reuse. Like, let's be real. It's V-Wheel Clone Iteration Alpha 427 Bravo. Like, these guys are all pretty much the same, and you know it, I know it. It's a V-Wheel bed flinger. There's really not much special to a lot of these machines. This one I wanted to play with because of the construction method and the nozzle probe, which is actually a Hall effect sensor. It's not, a lot of people are saying it's a, or thinking that it was a strain gauge, because that's what the CR6 uses. No, this actually has a Hall effect sensor and a magnet. So as the tool head tilts up, the magnet actually trips a Hall effect sensor. So theoretically, I don't think they have it on here. Yeah, they don't. The board doesn't have it. But like on the Hall effect board on the V2s, which you can now use on Trident, by the way. Trident now supports the Hall effect XYN stop. There's a little potentiometer, and you can actually go in there and adjust your sense distance. What is a good out-of-the-box printer? Does not need much work to get printing. I have an Ender 3 V2. I would have said an Ender 3 V2. Ender 3 V2 is the best entry-level printer for 90% of people right now. It is good enough for the most part. and cheap enough for the most part that if 3D printing is not the hobby for you, you're not out a lot. Okay? Because a lot of people, I see a lot of people recommend a Prusa as a first printer because it works out of the box and it's got all the support. The thing is, a Prusa, like in Canada, it's like $1,000 for a Prusa. And let's be honest, a lot of people get a 3D printer. They go on Thingiverse, they go on Thangs, they go on, you know, our 3D printing on Reddit. They print a Benchy, they print a Groot, they print whatever the flavor of the month print is on our 3D printing to try and get as much karma as possible by posting, hey guys, look what my $200 printer did. And then they kind of put it aside and they might print the odd thing every now and then. Most people don't put crazy amount of hours on their printers. After a few weeks, I bet you more than half of printers print more in their first month of use than in their full year, in the rest of the year. So that's why I say get an under 3 V2, because if the hobby really is for you, you will get a lot out of it for its price. And if the hobby isn't for you, you're not out as much. Also, there's large enough people that have it, or enough people have it, that you can find support for it online. You can find fixes for the common issues because it is a cheaper printer online. I don't recommend the other ones that you're seeing right now because you have the Voxelab Aquila, the Neptune 2 from Anycubic, if you can find it. Those are basically under 3 V2s, but they're cheaper. And there's not as much support out there. There's not as many out there. So you have issues where supply chain, where hey, the units reviewers got are much better than the ones that you can buy now because they're using a cheaper power supply now, or they're cheaping out in other areas to cut corners to get the price down. Because if you notice, a lot of people only care about price. A lot of people only care about price. So I don't know. I think it's better to go with something that there's more of out there and more people are actively using. But that's just me. Scott Barnes, $5. I did not heed your warning. I built my V0 with Pet G. Fortunately, I lived to regret it. How bad was it if you were printing enclosed? Watching a Ming to work. Oh, yeah, we got to fix this. Once this is good, my first layer is a little high. Decrease. Okay. Yeah, we got to fix this. Once we get the first layer going, I'm going to we'll fix the Voron not printing issue. It drooped after about 5 prints, 70C on the bed. Yep, that's about right with PETG enclosed. Is it extruding fine outside of the base layer curling up? What the heck? The bed leveling test are smooth on the left. If it's not, if you're having edges of prints curling up right away, it's more an adhesion issue than a bed level issue. Depending on your bed surface, you might need to clean it. You might need to put some glue on it, depending on your filament. Slow down your first layer, maybe over extrude your first layer a bit. Yeah. There's a few different reasons. Everyone thinks it comes down to flatness. Like, how flat is my, my bed's not level. That's why it's filling. No, usually it's not that. It's usually an adhesion issue. Okay. Oh, I gotta put the back on this. I never put the back on this. Filament box to the rescue. Take that off. And by the way, Joel, if you're still here, you need to get one of these. Okay, let's put the back on this. Jared, hello. Waiting on Piff and LDO to get my 01. Honestly, LDO knocked it out of the park with the kit for this. The fact that it comes pre-wired and literally all you gotta do is build it, plug everything together. Like, okay, yeah, I did the build in 10 hours. And it's not like I built a Voron before. But they knocked it out of the park with that kit. Like, it's insane how good that kit is. Or this kit is. Almost all PLA prints pulls off my E3 bed if the temp is too high. Might check that out. Honestly, I am not a huge fan of carborundum beds. The only reason I like carborundum beds is they are better than the thin beds that a lot of the printers used to come with. So I'd rather have on a cheap printer a glass bed, simply so that it's flatter. Like that's my thinking is on a cheap printer, I would rather have a bed made out of glass than like a flex plate if it doesn't have bed leveling. If I have a cheap printer with no bed leveling, I'd rather have a glass bed because a lot of cheap printers have beds that aren't really flat and they're thin aluminum and they have a tendency to warp. So I'd rather have the flatter bed. Get that in there. I hate working with tools that get magnetic. Go there. There we go. There we go. Borosilicate glass. I used to run, my original V0 had just glass bed. Straight up, actually not even glass, it was a mirror. I went to Lowe's and bought a mirror and used a mirror bed for the longest time. And it worked great. Is that curling on me? I don't know. We'll see. If it fails, it fails. If it don't, it don't. Yeah, glue stick. I did glue stick when I was printing my ABS parts. And then when I went to, I actually printed a lot of PLA on just perfectly clean glass, bare glass by itself. And it was fine. Yes, this little guy's a Voron. This is a V0. So we're going to print on this guy. Because there's another model I want to print. So the resin printer is doing its thing. This is doing its thing. This has lights now. I need to find some filament now. I need green. I need green filament. Which Voron should I do next? I just did my 01. It depends what you're looking to. I would say a V2 or a V1 personally. If you want another... if you don't want enclosed, if you don't need enclosed, a switch wire is a very fun, simple build. Legacy is build a legacy if you want a legacy. It's not exactly a, it's definitely a niche printer, the legacy. Okay, so this already has filament in it, so I gotta heat it up. Get that filament out. No Replitech filament. Yeah, John, they like just started like a couple weeks ago making filament. So they are new. They are new. I think they've only done like a few batches so far, and they're only on Amazon Canada at the moment. So, and local, obviously. Switchwire kits. I want to say there's some on Alley, maybe, but I don't know. The switchwire is not as... I see a lot of people converting printers to switchwires. Watch Nero pop the... I shouldn't. This is a small printer. It doesn't use a lot of juice. That doesn't use a lot of juice. I'm sure if I were to start printing something on both the V2 and the V1 at the same time, I might at that point. But unfortunately, my basement is... I didn't build this house. The previous owner had finished my basement, and they did all the electrical down here in the walls. I'm a little scared at times running too many printers down here. It is, yeah. Yeah. So this is what we're going to print next on the 0. How many switchwires are OG and how many are conversions? Personally, I think it's about maybe half. So we are going to print, for those that have seen Suicide Squad, the better of the two. Starro. We're going to print Starro. Now, do we want to print him? Yeah, we're going to print him in the happy pose. I think that's a happy pose. That looks like a happy pose. So disclosure, I am a Patreon supporter of Chaos Cortec, and they have some awesome models of this guy that actually you can wear as a mask, which I want to print that one. I'm tempted to print it on Tallboy and print the actual mask version of this on their Patreon. But we are going to print that. So I need to find some green filament. Or no, blue. He's blue, right? I want to say Starro's blue. Oh no, he's like a purple, right? One of Majora's Mask scale. That would be cool. So let's see what we got. I know I have a bunch of polyalchemy. You know, oh yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay, I do have purple. Yeah. So let's go with, yeah, Starro. Starro's like a purple, right? Oh, he's like a purple blue. Yeah, so he's like a purple blue, which I don't have. So, we got Nightshade purple, polyalchemy. Oh, hey, I get to ban somebody. Report. Unwanted commercial or spam. Report. Goodbye. Remove. Hide user. Goodbye. Yeah, we'll go with the purple. That's actually, you know what? I made it to the big time, guys. My streams are big enough that I actually get spammers. Yay! This is Polyalchemy Nightshade. So we'll go with the Nightshade, because I have some green, and I don't have a blue that would... I got lighter blues. What do I got loaded in these machines? That. And then I do have some... No, that's... No, that is... I gotta go through. I'm running out of room again for filament. Okay, yeah, we'll go with this guy. We'll go with the polyalchemy. Am I gonna have to restart that? Yeah, I'm gonna restart that. The 1 foot was up too high. Back. Stop. Confirm. Let me stop this print and restart it. Yeah. That is not good bed adhesion. Okay, the 1 foot was good, the other foot was not. So let's load this guy in. Any thoughts on the toolhead PCB? Will you make a video on Voron mods that you like, recommend? I've seen a bunch of toolhead PCBs. I personally haven't played with any of them yet. They are kind of on my list of things I would like to play with. I just don't have the time right now. And I'd have to rewire one of my existing printers to do it. So it's kind of like a one day I will, but not right now project. I might save it for a build in the future, potentially. We shall see. But at this time, no. I have seen a few of them. I know, what is it, the Havud that a bunch of people are using? Havud, I think. Why aren't you going in? Uh-oh. Why does this always happen to me on days like today? I think I got a little piece of filament got stuck jamming up my hot end. You get an STM32 in those? The toolhead boards? I think they do. Yeah, they have an MCU in it. I'm still waiting on the Raid Shadow Legends. I'm waiting on the Raid Shadow Legends. I haven't had a chance. I haven't got one yet. I'm sure one day I will. And I know it's kind of a meme joke, but if I do get one, I'm tempted to actually just do the Raid Shadow Legends ad as the joke, because it's a kind of a joke at this point. Why won't you go in? I might have to take apart this tool head, because that is, nope. Crud. This is the second time this has happened to me. I gotta take apart my tool head. Ah. I got a piece of filament is stuck in the gap above between the extruder and I won't go in. Try a different way. Try a different way. Hopefully I can salvage it. Oh. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Don't fret. Filament through. We're good. So let that reboot. You are drifting like crazy. Cancel. Okay, so heat that back up. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I completely missed chat for a little bit there. Is Afterburner Clockwork getting an upgrade? We're toying around with some tweaks to it. Nothing's finalized yet. When it's done, it's done. You'll know. But it's still in the tweaking phase for things. There's always stuff's always being worked on. How is the food adhesion? The food adhesion is pepperoni. What's the best way to mount a Raspberry Pi? I think I need to figure out how to mount a camera in this guy. I got the lights on it now, so I do have lights, but where are you going? Oh, it's heating up. I think something mounted like down here on the back panel, like on the side panel below the extrusion looking across the bed. You would need a low profile camera though. There we go. Okay. So that is that. Let me extrude some filament out of here. There we go. Okay. So we are good. Let's get this sliced. View. Move. Delete model. What is my specialty? I build things and break things. I'm just a dude on the team who tests stuff, and that's pretty much my jig. So, oh, I gotta download the model. Would help if I downloaded it. I don't have to relevel the bed. What relevel what bed? On which printer? I do not have a GitHub. Don't ask me how GitHub works. It is voodoo and wizards, and it's the home of nerds. I have no bloody clue how to work GitHub. I have a GitHub profile or account. I've never posted anything with it. Okay, so why aren't you fitting? Oh, that's why, because it's too big. So let's go with 115. We'll scale it down to 115 millimeters tall. That is there. Now this is silk. So with silk filament, we can't go stupid fast. Because you got to go slow to get the sheen. So support speed's fine. External layers will go 20. So unfortunately, we got to go slow on this guy. I don't think there's any bridges, but... So... You want to go slow, and you want to go warmer, if I'm not mistaken. So, go 215. Quit moving. Why do you do that? And you know what? We will go with layers and shells. Nope, no slicing. With 0.15. 1.4 layer heights. I don't like doing odd numbers for layer heights. The Pi 4 is running at 50 degrees Celsius. That's fine. This guy runs at like 16. It's fine. It just, once it hits 60, it starts yelling at you, but it won't actually do anything until about, I think, what is it, 80? 90, I think? It's like stepper motors. Everyone freaks out when their stepper motors get warm. Most stepper motors are fine to like 100 degrees Celsius almost. Eric, I don't understand why anyone uses Vim when there is Nano. I don't understand either of those. Only first layer? Oh, did I pick the wrong setting? It should be first layer 0.2 and then everything else 1.4. Oh, yeah, no, wrong layer. There we go. So 0.2. Whoever caught that, thank you. So a 1.4 layer height. There we go. Slice down. Do you know magic number base height? On most of these printers, you're fine with a I do try to keep the layer heights in divisions of whatever a full step is, or a micro step, or whatever it is. I just don't like doing, personal preference, I don't like doing odd number for layer heights. So I'll do 0.14 versus 0.15. I should be heating the bed up. Control. By the way, the screen that we put on this is working great. Export G-code. Save. So this is like a 3-hour print. Upload, upload. Uploading. What screen? It is the mobile camera, so you can see this little guy. So this is the V0 display. If you go on the Voron GitHub, go under Voron hardware, you can find the files for it. It's a PCB. It's got a little, I think 1.3-inch OLED or 0.9-inch OLED. You got your adjustment and everything. So it's a really crisp, clean mini display, and it's USB, so you can use it with any printer with clipper and just run it connected with USB cable. So right now we're just waiting for this to heat up, and then we'll get her printed. I haven't cleaned this bed in a while. 1.13 inch. There. Okay, so it's a 1.13 inch OLED, and I think the it's also got a whatever those PC or LED lights are called. The I can't remember. It changes color. I think the LED in here changes color based on what it's doing. What do I look for whenever I run out of ideas to print? There are so many things. Like, I have so many projects that I should be working on that I just don't have time for. Yeah, it's an RGB. It's one of the, it's a, not a nano. What's it called? I have a whole strip of them somewhere. Well, I got these ones, which are the individual ones. NeoPixel. Yeah, that. You have the V0 display. It honestly depends. Like, my Toasty Boy here, I still don't have a display on it. I got to print off a housing for the TFT50, which, if anyone has a clipper screen display for a Voron for a TFT50, BTT TFT50, let me know. I got to print one off for this guy because I'm going to put a TFT50 on it for clipper screen. But I don't. I typically just run my machines headless for the most part. Voron user mods, okay. Creality 10 says enclosures. The best enclosure a Creality can get is the one it comes in, and that is the cardboard box. Printers are a printing. Honestly, for me, I like this display because it's so simple. I prefer minimal basic displays on my printers because I have a desktop right here that I can connect to all my printers. So if I need to do anything, I'm using the computer here. And if I need to be at the computer, I can just use my phone. So, or at the printer, I can just use my phone. So it's not a huge deal for me. The screens, honestly, most of the time for me are simply to either heat up a nozzle or manually move it if I'm doing like maintenance on it. So I like very simple, quick reaction screens. Is the BQBX, is it a, what was that? BQBX a good candidate for Clipper? It's an Ender 3 clone, probably. Just be careful. A lot of the newer printers, like the Mingda and the Voxelab, I think, and a few others are using a different chip on their controller board. They're not using STM32, they're using a GD32, which at this date and time is not fully supported by Clipper. So you might run into issues. The thing I hate about using a phone is catching this. Oh yeah, I could see that. I've actually, like, I'm thinking about if it's worth it to buy just a tablet, like a cheap tablet, like a Fire 7 or whatever, an Amazon Fire Stick or whatever. And yeah, that first layer is good. And just having that with like hot links icons for all my printers, so I could just sit there and use that for all my printers. And it's fireproof. I don't know. Okay. Yes, everyone's worried about their printers catching fire, but you need 451 degrees to catch paper on fire. 451 Fahrenheit to Celsius is like 232. So unless your hot end is printing at ABS temp and falls on the paper or the cardboard, nothing over here should ever catch fire from a printer running over here. So if you enclose your printer, something would have to jump from your printer to the cardboard to catch fire. And personally, I wouldn't be, if I was that worried about my printer catching fire, I wouldn't be running my printer in my house at all. So. Tablet on Craigslist. I have one upstairs somewhere. I think my wife bought one, like, we have a cheap tablet for the little guy that, like, barely gets used now. So I can always just grab that. First alley kit. You managed to get an alley kit on a 2.4 alley kit for $650? Wow. Yeah, prices have gone up for a lot of stuff. Shipping, sourcing, supply and demand. Binary, which means frequency caps / reboot and under voltage occurred. Okay, Raspberry Pis are very finicky with power supplies and will throw undercurrent errors all the time if your power supply is not pumping out exactly 5 volts. So if you got like a little power brick and it's pumping out like 4.9 volts, sometimes it'll throw errors. Another thing is you do experience voltage loss over cheap USB cables. So if your Raspberry Pi is running off a known good power supply and you're still getting undervolt errors, what you can try and do to alleviate that is upgrade to a better USB cable, a thicker one, or if your Raspberry Pi is wired for power, use at least like 18 gauge wire instead of something like 22. Because I guess the Raspberry Pi power bricks come with 18 gauge wire to get around that, because you experience voltage loss with thin wire. So. Did you know about the stricter EU tax rules? I have no idea about EU tax laws. I still need to, I'm worried to figure out about Canadian tax laws, because right now, my tax plan for my whole YouTube account is to put it in a pile and then go to a person who knows taxes next year when I do my taxes and be like, hey, tell me how much money I have to pay, because I have no idea. I have all my Pi 4 boards on Adafruit heatsink cases, and they are, oh, there you go. This guy has a Pi 3. I had to put a fan on it because it's enclosed in the back, and it was getting like 61 degrees Celsius, which trips the annoying warning saying, hey, I'm hot. So I put a little fan on it. It's fine now. The only one that I have that throws the low voltage is the one in Tallboy, and that has a cheap connector. I gotta change out to a better USB cable. I know that's what's causing the issue on that one. That's a Pi 4. That's just our RP, or was it an RP25/5 power supply? This one is powered off of the Spider, and it's got no issues either. This is, yeah, the Star Guy we're printing here, the Starro, is, the model itself is 122 millimeters tall. We scaled it down to 115, so we wouldn't hit max Z. Run all my Pi 4s with power over Ethernet. Well, there you go. Yeah, if you're running, if all your printers are wired up, that's fine. All mine are USB, or USB are on the Wi-Fi. Your oven is more likely to start a fire than your 3. Exactly. Like in my room, you know, I got a little fire extinguisher canister here. I have one by the door just in case. I have a smoke alarm above the printers right here. So I do take safety precautions. So Spammer is back. Remove. Oh wait, no, I gotta report. Unwanted or spam report. And hide user on this channel. There we go. Hey Raymond, guess what? You are now a moderator. Congratulations. One print hammer. I need to print a Mjolnir. I haven't printed a Mjolnir yet. I gotta do that. Give Ray the hammer. I gave Ray the hammer. New note. So for a Ramps 1.6 is pretty much a Ramps 1.4 with whatever the company felt like throwing on and calling it a 1.6. It's not an official thing, but you would be basically installing, look at the Clipper config examples for an Arduino Mega, and the pinout for a Ramps is basically that. So. Actually, yeah, let me see if the little guy actually went to bed. The little guy has been sick all weekend. Come here, buddy. Get over here, doggo. Come here. Aw. Doggo boy. Yes, I'm wearing sandals in the house. Doggo boy. There's your doggo tax for the night, guys. Doggo boy. Right there. Where's the spot? Where's the spot? There's the spot. Duff $6.99, doggo. Where's doggo boy? Good boy, kisses? No, he just wants pets. Good. Dog fur reinforced filament. Sandals without socks. Yeah, this isn't Linus Tech Tips. Duff $6.99, doggo. Doggo. He seems sad. He's mopey today. We didn't go anywhere today, so he's been like all inside and he's been mopey. He's smiling. There, smile. Happy dog. Happy. Shake paw. He's a good boy. Sit. Yes. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Okay, you gonna go back upstairs? Can you say hello? Hello. Okay. Get out of here, you fluffy ball. The dog hair reinforced resin test is next week. Is that warping already? No, whatever. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. This is content. Luke, $5 doggo hair cleaning fund. Yeah, he's 9 or 10, I think. He's a shepherd husky. Oh, and for everyone that was complaining, I fixed the strap almost. It's still like it needs to be like ironed or something, but I fixed the strap for you, so you can't complain about the strap anymore. Oh yeah, he'll always shed. He's a shepherd husky, so he's part husky. He just sheds like crazy, that dog. So if you haven't had the chance yet, don't forget we are doing, there's 2 draws. Well, there's 2 draws tonight, and then there's another draw for something else later. If you are on the, in Euroland, in the EU, the main sale folks will be doing a draw for lighters. They're pretty cool. They are, they're Tesla lighters. They're electronic lighters, and they're custom with the main sale logo on it. So if you're in the EU, hop on over to the main sale Discord. I think it's to celebrate their upcoming 2.0 launch. There's a draw they're doing. Links in the description, go there. And because can't leave the North American folk out, here in Canada and the US, if you want to win a Big Tree Tech Octopus board, I will be giving away 2 of them because I have a pile of them. So I'll be giving away 2 Big Tree Tech Octopuses anywhere in Canada or the US. Enter below. Voila. I will draw it around 10 o'clock tonight. Only the boards. They don't come with drivers. So just so you know, they don't come with drivers. American Pirate Films, thank you for coming a member. KB3D, hello, you are here. Yeah, how's the, I'm assuming your experience with the V0 LDO kits is the same with the printed solid, where they kind of came in and they left. Because those kits went quick. How do you theme your interface? It would be in the options. I don't have any printers that are running the most recent main sale. Most of mine are running fluid. It's personal preference. Just go with what interface you like the most. At this time, they're all fluid just because I ended up settling on that. But their functionality is both pretty much the same. So let's see, how is this print coming along? There. I'd zoom in on something to show you, but like, wow, first layer or bottom layer is going down. Nice. And then that's that. And then, hey, look, it's a resin printer. I don't know how like Tom and Joel and them do live streams of resin printer unboxings. At least with like one of these, you can see it moving and it's kind of cool. And it's like shiny object moving. It's like keys. It can entertain people. Watching a resin printer print is the most boring thing ever because it's literally, and you can't see half of it. I don't know how you could stream that. I tried. I did the one unboxing. It was horrible. Have I built the Trident? No, I have not. I have a 1.8. It will remain a 1.8. I have no plans to upgrade it to a Trident at this time. So. Do we want to try getting another printer online right now? Oh, I can't because like I gotta swap out the filament. I gotta swap out to more. I think I'm running low on the. You guys see what camera we got on? Got that one. Let me check the dry box. Yeah, I swap that out. I'm running low on the carbon fiber polycarbonate. So I have a spool of it here. I gotta load that in Toasty so that I can reprint. So I have the files here for the TFT50, and I'm gonna print it in carbon fiber because why not? Go big or go home. You're sitting in your driveway because I'm probably gonna lose the stream when I drop. You should not be watching the stream while you're driving. I will be here when you get home. It's a VOD. All my VODs are there. If you're watching from the future, hello. Can you get a close-up of the V01? You know, it's actually printing stuff now, so we'll go to V0 cam. If I can find something to put this on. Cardboard box to the rescue. Oh my god, this is so much better with light in it. And yes, it is printing slow because we're printing silk filament. One of my printers sounds like a phone is dialing. Oh, do I have filters? I have noise suppression on. It's probably this guy. This guy makes some funky noise when it's doing infill at high speeds. This guy is like dead quiet. Derek, $10. Thank you, appreciate it. Hot take, I believe the trident going to 6 boners is a well-meant mistake. The cool thing on the 1.8 is you can use almost any regular board, not anymore. Still plan on building a trident. Derek, you can build V1.8 still. Like, that's the thing, like, you don't have to build a trident. Here, like, you can still build a 1.8. The thing is, the way the 1.8 is, we can't have the V2 gantry in a 1.8 because the way the bed attaches to the bottom of the extrusions. The fact that Trident now has the bed running on rails on a new rear extrusion, and then also the corners kind of like on a V2, allows us to put a V2 gantry in there. You probably honestly could do the MGN12 mod. I think would be able to almost drop right in. I'm not sure how it would line up. You probably could just drop it right in. So you probably could still even do the MGN12 on a 1.8. So if you want to run a regular controller board, just build a 1.8. And I think you can still do the MGM12. Don't quote me on that. You'd have to check the CAD to verify that. Make sure the belt path still lines up. Actually, no, because the XY joints would be different because it's a thicker, the rail's thicker and pushes out more. So no, you wouldn't be able to. But you can still build a 1.8. So. MGM12 works fine on 1.8. Well, then there you go. I need a good model suggestion with polyalchemy elixir brass. Let's see what I have in... This was Sparta 3D copper silk filament. What else do I have in shiny? You can do a vase. I'm trying to think of what I've done in silk filament. Oh, this was cool. This is a, oh no, this wasn't silk. But I printed this guy. This is another Chaos Cortec model. Sleepy Stegosaurus. Printed that this week. I have a bunch of silk models. Silk is really nice to print if you're doing something. I find it's good for like artsy stuff. Like this is some polyalchemy. Shiny. Shiny, shiny, shiny. As you can tell, I need to redo the room here. I'm going to be tomorrow. I've got a bunch of time. I'm going to be moving stuff around. I'm thinking of putting a shelf in that corner, because like it's not like I can work on anything in this corner, right? Like my bench is here, I can't get into the corner. So I think I'm gonna put like a corner shelf and just do a whole bunch of prints up here, and then move this acro bin out of the way so you can see everything. So. Yeah, shiny filament's fun. You can't print it fast. That's the only downside to it. You gotta print it slow. Ordering multicolor PTFE wire. Is there an info guide lengths on making a pre-harness? The net guide, what I would actually recommend is basically plot out where everything is, install your controller boards and everything, and then run one wire from like the tool head all the way down to the furthest point that would need to run, and then add a little bit extra, and then use that as your base for your length. That's what I've always done. There's an association, yeah, print toys for tots. I think I can't remember who does that. They print toys for kids in the US. I don't think there's a Canadian equivalent. Love the Voron group to make a 30-30 extrusion 500mm cubed enclosed printer. That was done years ago, and it was 40 something. Like it, I don't know why everyone's like, oh, they need to build a big Voron. It's been done. There's your V24. If you need 24 inches cubed of print volume, V24 is your go-to. That's actually older than the V2. And there's only one in existence. And it's machine parts, and it's ancient, and it runs 8-bit Marlin. How's the Nero redesign coming along? I'm waiting on the final revision of the logo. I have a new theme song already made up. Fiverr hooked me up with that. And then I got to redo the intro and whatnot. So, Craig49, any updates on your CNC project? It is on hiatus. I don't have the time. I might go back into it in the winter. It's summer right now. This is my part-time hobby. So pretty much all my free time is being eaten up by the whole printing thing. And then I have a full-time job, a 3-year-old son, a wife, and a house, and I have to cut the grass and whatnot. So maybe when winter rolls around and I have more free time, maybe I'll get back into it. But right now I just don't have the time. So I sidelined it in favor of other projects. RCF said it's still printing. Yeah, he has it. It's returned home. It's just old. Oh, wrong button. No. There. There we go. Apply. There we go. That should be a little bit clearer. Filters. I can put filters on this. What can I? Oh, let's play with OBS filters. Effect filters. Invert polarity. That doesn't do anything. Oh, that's audio filter. Effect filters. Yep, blue. I can chroma key. Ooh. Cool. There you go. Steven, $2. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thinking of printing, building a pendulum clock. There's a few clock projects I've seen with 3D printed parts. So, don't I have drones as well? I have a drone that I've never put together. I bought it like 2 years ago. Yeah. It's an Eachine something or other. One of these guys. It's just under, it's a 3-inch. It's just under the limit for what you can have in Canada legally without a license. I bought it. By the time everything showed up, like I got a little charger for it, batteries. By the time everything showed up, the weather got crap. And then it sat all winter, and then it still needs a an RC or a radio thingy. I think I can plug it in. Yeah, I don't know. This is as far as I've gotten with it. It's literally, I need to solder on a the thing that allows you to talk to it with a controller, and yeah. I just never got around to it. I don't have time. Every now and then it's like, I'm gonna finish it, and then I get sidetracked by other projects. Oh no, the printer, or the, that fell. Yeah, radio transmitter, that thingy. Like, I just have cheap goggles for it. I have like a cheap E-Machines goggles or whatever they're called. You hooked up a 5-volt fan to a 24-volt power supply. Ooh. Ooh. The V0 toolhead needs a better looking design. What's wrong with the design? What's wrong with the toolhead design? What's wrong with that? You can multicolor it and print the logo in a different color if you want. What's wrong with that toolhead design? I actually really like that toolhead design. Simply because it's so functional and compact. Quit falling over, Kim. There we go. How do I copy a name to at them? You just type at and then their name. So at deepfriedhero.in. Like that. It's a little flat. It has to be flat because there's a door. It can't stick out past the door. There's literally like a millimeter of clearance between the front of the tool head and the door. Like, we have design limitations we have to deal with. You're in a grocery store. What are you doing in a grocery store while watching a stream or listening? You could be listening to the stream. In that case, I'll go get the ASMR set up. So while this is all printing and I'm getting myself a drink, make sure you check out the link in the description for Thangs, where you can download all these awesome models that we're printing right now on the resin printer from MZ4250. He does a whole whack load of little tabletop models that are really cool. And then on Thangs, you know, there's all kinds of things on Thangs. So if you're looking for something to print, go on there. Actually, let me show off, see if I can get it to work on my phone. It was working the other day. Because Thangs has AR features. So you can actually load up a model on your phone and view it in AR, augmented reality, before you print it. Let's see if I can get this to work. this isn't going to work too well. Nope, okay, so let me, nope, not record a video. Yep. Why does it always do that? It always does that. Okay, it always puts it above me. I don't know. It doesn't work too good on my phone, but you have the option of loading a model in augmented reality and view it on your phone through the camera. It's actually pretty cool. Somebody texted me. Ooh. So I've actually done that to see how something would fit before I printed it. So it was actually pretty cool. So tonight, Gibson's Canadian whiskey, because I love my Canadian whiskey. So cheers. We're going to be doing the draw in 7 minutes. So if you haven't had a chance to enter the draws for the Octopi or the lighter for mainsail, make sure you do that. Do this now. Thanks. So Kit, I've been speaking with Thangs. I'm actually supposed to, I'm waiting on a call to speak with their, about getting features. They are legit working on fleshing out the site to get a bunch of stuff added to it to make it more robust. They basically are working on getting the actual site functional and everything loading and whatnot so that when you upload stuff, everything's working that way and whatnot. They're going to be adding a bunch of community things to it. I've made a whole whackload of suggestions to them. I really do think that the site has a ton of potential. Otherwise, I wouldn't promote something I don't support. And the good thing about it is there's a whole separate side to Thangs. Thangs is tied to another company. This is their side project, and they have a whole goal with this to make it like a awesome repository of 3D models, basically like a 3D model GitHub, essentially. And because people ask, well, this is the thing that they're doing for fun, and the job and the money-making thing is a separate thing, so they don't need to worry about that with this. Because they have they're owned by a company called Fizna, and it's basically a search engine based around 3D models, and yeah, so this is all just data for them. So, get a print. Their search is getting better. If you want to search on Thangs, make sure you select search on, you know, you want to search, make sure you select Thangs, and then you'll pull up stuff on Thangs. They are working on getting like tagging and whatnot better, so it is getting better. The site has grown a ton over the past year. It's a new site, it takes time, but yeah. Duff, pretty much. That's the only stipulation as far as I'm aware with them, is if you upload a model to Thangs, you give them permission to use the model to train the AI, but they don't do anything with it. So you can still upload the model with the GPL v3 licensing. So you can for those that do Voron mods, you can upload a Voron mod to Thangs, attach the GPL v3 licensing. That is perfectly fine. You can do that. Go ahead and do that. If you don't want to upload it to the GitHub, I'd still recommend uploading it to the GitHub, but if you don't want to, you can upload Voron mods to Thangs. It's GPL v3 compatible. When you upload it, you have the option to attach licenses. That's fine. The only thing that Thangs does with your model is they can use it to train their algorithm. Which, let's be honest, everything you use is being used to train an AI at this point. So if you have a phone, everything's being used to train an AI at this point. Yeah, Thingiverse crashes a lot. And then also be aware that Thangs isn't just 3D printing. There's a lot of stuff that's not 3D printing on Thangs. So like you can find like CAD files for a whole Harley Davidson motorcycle. Like this, you're obviously not going to 3D print it, but if you wanted to download the files, you could, because this is probably some guy's project. And then you can do like exploding and whatnot. Because their built-in app viewer or model view is pretty cool. So it's getting there. Thingiverse is running on a potato. Pretty much at this day and age. I think I kind of goofed that I'm going to have a seam in the front of this, which I'm not going to be too happy of, but it is what it is. You wouldn't print a motorcycle, would you? I would. I would. Is there an exploded view of a Russian Mi-8 helicopter? Is that... Why does that sound like that would be a joke? There are helicopters on there, though. Some chatter about the Pi 5. What's PI? What's the PI 5? The Pi 5. Did I hear the joke about the wood motorcycle? I have not. How did you get rid of or minimize the seam? The seam's right there. It's annoying the heck out of me. Yeah, remember guys, when you're printing a 3D model, just click hide seam and you'll never have a seam on it. Okay, if you haven't entered the chance for the Octopus and you live in Canada or the US, make sure you enter. You have like 1 minute. Raspberry Pi 5? What do you mean a Raspberry Pi 5? 5? Oh, there's no Raspberry Pi 5. When you search Raspberry Pi 5, like, the only thing that comes up is an all 3DP article. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this site is nothing but a click farm like scam site. Every time I find anything on this site, it's always super like oh hey, a Voron. Hey, they wrote an article about Voron. Let's take a look at this. Is an exciting core exercise sold as a versatile DIY kit. It's not official at all. Does he say this anywhere in here? Okay, we're gonna critique this. We are going to critique this because I'm not a huge fan of this site. In 3D printing, big concern with makers is reliability long term, especially with budget machines and DIY kits. In 2015, Voron saw this problem, initiating the Voron project to create a high quality, reliable 3D printer. Yeah, okay, I can give them that. Years later, after releasing the now flagship 2.4 version. 2.4 is the oldest Voron revision currently out there. It is the oldest existing model. It is the flag, I guess the V2 is the flagship, but it is actually currently the oldest model. It's a well-designed Core XY machine known for its reliability, impressive visual appeal, and high performance. Yeah. In this article, we'll review the specs of a V2.4. We'll go over the unique features and summarize the build and compare it with similar machines. Enjoy. A beast of a machine. No, I don't want to subscribe to you. You have until I'm done this article to enter the draw. I want to read it. Honestly, this site feels like it's just used to sell affiliate links, just to get you to click affiliate links. Every time I've read anything on here, it's always super chipper and like everything's awesome. And like when they have like best 3D printers, it's always like super expensive machines that nobody really thinks is like the best machine of the year. Sticking to the fundamentals of the RepRap project. I can't remember the last time anyone on the Voron team even like went to that website. Is completely open source, customizable, and DIY. You can build a V2.4 with as many parts as you like, but it's recommended that you stick closer to an official bill of materials. Okay, 3D parts. Don't worry though. If you follow the detailed assembly guide, yeah, we do have a decent guide. As for you can buy different kits for the popular Voron or purchase alternative. For a remote controller, you can also plug in your preferred specs on the generate for a bomb. So let's take a look at his kit. So it's not, okay, so right off the bat, these extrusions. So it's not a, that's not how the kit is. That's not how it's supposed to be. Included enclosure, blah, blah, blah. Uses correct Y motion system. Yep. So basically, this is just stating facts about it. The print head, direct drive or extruder, blah, blah, blah. There's complex assembly made of a few different 3D printed components. Ooh. Blah, blah, blah. Let me check. Okay, let's critique his wiring job. Okay, for one, he took a screenshot with a bunch of overlays over his screen. And it's a lot of wires in a really tight spot. Okay. That's his wiring job. 3 power supplies, okay. Okay. Is what it is. Oh. Oh, I got spammed again? Oh, thank you, Raymond. Good job, Raymond. Okay. So, basically his whole review of the kit is just saying what the printer has. To best understand, it's important to compare it to a similar option, the Hypercube. In some aspects, the 2.4 and the Hypercube are similar. My you know, Ford Focus is the same as a Ferrari because they both have 4 wheels and an engine. This right here, needs to go away. I still can't believe I see people build printers and this is how they have their wiring. This kind of being acceptable, it needs to go bye-bye. Like, we're past that point, guys. Wire up your printers properly, make it look good. Building a 2.4 costs $800 to $1,000. I wish it was $800 to $1,000 to build one of these things. These are like $1,500 machines. I have a feeling he didn't build it. I have a feeling he just scraped information and pictures. Yeah, these are just random. Yeah, let me. Yeah, this is some guy on Thingiverse. This is Tom's. So this is Tom's. So he's showing the print head with a unsupported extruder. This is some random guy on YouTube. So yeah, he legit just, this is an article on the printer. So how are you reviewing it without building it? All you're doing is just, all this article is just saying what the printer has, and here's a bunch of pictures of other people that have built it. Where to buy? Oh, and here you go. You can purchase the kit from the retailers. Click the affiliate link and then buy the parts from Craft Cloud. Which, I can't remember which 3D printing service wanted a channel on the website or on the Discord, but it was like $400 or $500 for the printed part kit from them, and the parts look like garbage. So yes, look how awesome a Voron is. Click the affiliate link, click the, probably they get a kickback from Craft Cloud. Yeah, garbage article. Garbage article. Okay, let's do a draw. E3D, yeah, a V6 is a good, tool head. Okay, if you have not entered the draw, you have until I finish copying all the names. We're gonna be doing 2 draws for Big Tree Tech Octopuses, Octopuses, Octopi, Octopods, Octopodes, controller boards. Yeah, that article is like straight up clickbait. Aaron Keller, you are the last one to enter. Congratulations. Okay. Craft Cloud is directly connected with all 3D. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, giveaway time. Somebody give me a number between 13 and 16. I need a number between 13 and 16. How do you handle setting up Clipper if the steppers are unknown and you can't get the spec sheet? So start with a low amperage and work your way up until they start getting warm. Okay, so Torx, you wrote 1, you're banned. Josh, 14. So 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and go. Hey! Brian, you have 1. Brian, where are you, Brian? Oh, Brian with an I. Okay, so Brian. Congratulations, you are our first winner of a Big Tree Tech Octopus. If you have a taco bed, can bed mesh help? Yes, it can. Okay, so everyone say congratulations, Brian, just so we can clear the chat out of all the numbers. You don't have to be in chat to win. You just I only open the draw during the stream. So you have to be here to win, or you have to be here at some point to win. Okay, give me a number between 3 and 8. A number between 3 and 8. I'm totally not inflating my YouTube interaction metrics by doing this. Okay, 3. I got a bunch of 3s. 1, 2, 3. And roll. Hey! Marcio! Congratulations, Marcy. Actually, I want to see something now. Oh, wow. So everyone, oh, mute it. I didn't mute it. Don't, Zen, don't do that. Everyone say hi to Marcy. Congratulations. How to get interactions on your thing. Well, here's the thing, like the easiest back, and then everyone goes, oh, hey, we can hear you, and that's also interaction. So not only do I get all the Fs, I also get all the people going, hey, we can hear you now. So it's a double whammy. Big brain. So congratulations, Marcy. Congratulations, Brian. I will be shipping out a Big Tree Tech Octopus to you guys next week. Hopefully you guys get them. I'm going to be sending them, because shipping to the US sucks. I'm just going to be sending them through regular Canada Post packaging. So hopefully they don't get all screwed up. They should be okay. But there will be no tracking numbers or anything because I'm paying for it out of pocket. So level 5 brain. Yeah. And by the way, out of curiosity, just so you guys are aware, a total of 294 people entered the draw. And of the 294 emails that I got, 4 of you are still using AOL. It's 2021, folk. Izza, $5. Thank you, appreciate it. Just want to say thanks. Your channel is helping me get through the weeds and understand the nuts and bolts of 3D printing. Awesome. That's good to hear, man. And KB3D, $10, 200 IQ. Big brain. Big brain. Biggest brain. Don't ban the spammer. Oh, yeah, because if we let if everyone just hit... So next time the spammer comes in, you can just click on their name and ignore them. So they'll keep spamming, which will be more engagement, but we don't see it. 400 IQ. 400 IQ. 2021, you should be using Hotmail. Earthlink. Oh my god. Simpatico. Those in Canada know. Simpatico. 294 entrants, 160 likes. Oh, come on, guys. You got to be liking that smash button more because YouTube metrics and things. Yeah, YouTube metrics. You gotta all like that smash button or something. Zen Bender, $5. You are still. DC Sublime, $10. Thank you. To help with shipping with the winners. There we go. And 150 people have signed up for the giveaway for the lighter. That's actually, like, I don't smoke. I have like a barbecue lighter somewhere. That's the only thing. But those are pretty cool lighters. They're electric lighters, so they don't use fuel. So that's pretty cool. 2 dislikes. You know what the funny thing is? YouTube doesn't care about likes to dislike ratio. As long as it's just interaction. All they care about is just interaction. That's why you see so many channels, unfortunately, like go into not react content, but like content like specifically like clickbait type, you know, always arguing or like calling people out and like what that kind of stuff. Because all YouTube cares is people watch the content. They don't care if they like the content or don't like the content. It's all about like views, and in terms of like live streams, it's about how much watch time, how much watch hours there are. So it's just the way it is. Well, I wouldn't say it's pushing narratives. It's all about money. Remember, it's all about just money and what they can get people to watch. It's like Facebook. If you go on Facebook and you're part of a mom group, all you'll see is stuff from mom groups and stuff directed like mom. If you're, you know, a biker, you'll see all kinds of stuff for bikers. If you have one political opinion, you'll see stuff from that political opinion, because they will just feed you what you want to see so you stay on the platform longer. It's all just meant to keep you on so they get more ad revenue. It's all about money. So it is what it is. And they are private companies, and as private companies, they can do whatever they want. Is how it is. And even if they push narratives, they are still a private company, and as a private company, they can do whatever they want. They are only beholden to shareholders. But anyways, please, well, no politics. I don't want to go into that. I do not want to get into that. So, I just want to get my Elon Musk SpaceX rocket ship going so I can get off this planet. All I want. James Miller, $5. Video's been help getting my V0 set up, still waiting on parts. Yeah, that's the worst part, is when you're waiting on, like, I remember I missed out. That is switch wire serial number 2. I was ready to build it when somebody snagged switch wire 1 because I was waiting on the bed from China. Ah! We can print the spaceship. That's what I need to print. I need to print, I used to have the files for a Falcon Heavy. I re-download, but I want to print a starship, like a full stack starship model at some point. So I want to get like something hanging from the ceiling in here. I really want to redo this whole room into a proper, like, this camera is currently on a shitty tripod. I want to wall mount it a little bit over more, closer to the wall. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to do. I want to get pegboards set up so I can hang stuff on the wall here. Shelf in the corner. I need more shelving. I need more desk space. I want to get the resin stuff into its own separate area. So you got 3.5 hours left on a 49-hour print. Well, just turn the speed up to 200 and then you only have a little over an hour and a half left. You got a functioning switch wire. Get your, if you already have a serial, no big deal, but if you don't have a serial, you might want to get that serial. Micron soon. I am waiting on Mr. DeepFriedHero.in will be sending me a kit. I think I'm gonna go. I think it's a baby blue frame, and I need to find. I've got. Yeah, I do. Okay. Nope, don't drop those. Oh my god, I have too much filament. Oh my god. that ABS Plus? Yes, it is. So I'm going to be using a baby blue frame with peak green parts with sparkle blue accent parts, I think, is what I'm going to go with that build. So it'll be almost like E3D colors for some reason. Relatively, yeah, the Terran rocket. So here's the thing. Anytime I see somebody advertising 3D printed metal, it's just a MIG gun on a Kuka arm with a rotating platform. That's all a metal 3D printer is. You buy MIG gun, you buy Kuka arm, you duct tape them together, and you... That's all it is. Sparta 3D Sparkle Blue? Yeah, because I have two. It's either going to be Sparta 3D or... Get out of here, manual. It'll either be Sparta 3D Sparkle Blue or KVP. Depends, because I'm running kind of low on the Sparta 3D, and then I got KVP. They're both pretty similar. I'll probably go with the Sparta 3D. I think I like the Sparta 3D more. It pops more. The KVP is a little bit on the darker side and not as sparkly, actually. So yeah, so it'll be a baby blue frame with main parts in peak green and then accent parts in sparkle blue. So yeah, this is Sparta 3D's ABS Plus. I actually, disclosure, Sparta 3D has sent me spools of filament for free in the past, blah, blah, blah. And they gave stuff for the build. But their ABS Plus is really light. I really like their ABS Plus. It prints very well. So if you're in Canada and you're looking for a good ABS Plus and you want to help support a Canadian company, Sparta 3D. It's not made in Canada, the plastic, but they sell it in Canada. Is the Voron homing to center custom macro? No, you can tell it in, where is it? System, printer config, edit, home, what is it? Safe home Z. So what you would do is you would just put this little thing right here. Zoom in. Why can't I zoom in? Okay. Save Z home and add this to your config, and then for home XY position, put whatever position you want it to home at. And that's where it'll home. So. Any recommendations for printing stuff? I'm just gonna know it's a pain in the butt so far. For the ABS Plus, do I have a profile on this machine? I don't think I have an ABS profile on this machine. I think my other machine does. Yeah, my other machine does. My machine upstairs has a profile, or my computer upstairs has a profile for it. I printed at a 110 bed for the first layer and then 105 afterwards on PEI. And then for hot end temperatures, I think I do 150 and then 245, if I'm not mistaken. Where'd the music go? You guys are fully charged. Where'd my music go? Huh. Yeah, you guys, I don't know, I don't know, the noise canceling just turned off in them. There we go. Let's change it up. So right now we're doing stream beats. For those that don't know, this is the music I'm normally playing, stream beats, because it's royalty free and I don't get dinged for it. So let's go with some synthwave. Good morning in Sweden. Oh yeah, 6 hours ahead, I want to say. No, it's still early there. So what? That's 4 or 5 a.m. Play some Doom soundtrack. I'm pretty sure I would get a DMC, or not DMCA, but I would get a claim against me. And they would take all my ad revenue, all $5. Have I looked at the pretzel rocks? Pretzel rocks. Stream safe music for live streamers. I have not looked at them, but I'm assuming it's the same thing as Stream Beats. I like the Stream Beats. I use it in a lot of the videos I do now too. 4:20 a.m. Oof, that's early. Why are you up so early? On a Sunday. It's Sunday. Why are you up that early? Why? Well, the missed minutes is printing away just fine. Filament's a tad on the stringy side, but again, this is a brand new brand of filament. And this is a high temp filament too. Apparently, they said it's a high temp filament, so that'll be cool. Like, it was actually pretty cool. I don't have. Let me see here. I didn't take many pictures, but like, no, they do have like one extrusion machine, so you can. They do have like one filament machine right now. They're just starting up, so it'll be cool to go there and just kind of do a video on how you make filament. So that'll be cool to do. Does ABS Plus need an enclosure? It helps. It definitely does help. If you're printing ABS Plus without an enclosure, make sure your printer is in an area where there's no drafts. Put it in a closet, for example. Print with a brim, and then also print with a draft shield. What does Z end stop calibrate help with? Setting your Z offset, I believe. There we go, we got the stadium lights going. Oh my god. You are back. Trying to think, user in timeout. I've reported it. Unwanted commercial content or spam. Yeah, there we go. How can you get rid of the seam? You can't, you honestly can never get rid of the seam 100%. Usually what I recommend is aligning it to the back or sharpest corner, for example. Honestly, YouTube's live stream tools aren't as good as Twitch, obviously. However, people have asked me to go stream on Twitch. I will never stream on Twitch. There's no point. My audience is on YouTube. If I go on Twitch, I would never get anywhere near the amount of viewers I get. And you know, I don't do this for the views. This isn't my job. I'd rather stream to the 270 people I'm streaming to now than 20 people on Twitch. There's more, I like interacting with the chat. It's easier when there's more chat. Need a mod? Yeah, sure, you're a mod now too. Add moderator. So you and Raymond are now mods. Congratulations. Usually for seams, what I do is I align it to the back and then I just put it on the back of the model. What was that? Oh, resin printer is still going fine. Timot's everywhere. You just don't always hear him. Yeah, beep boop bots. What can you do? How's the missed minutes printing? Printing fine. That's like a 10-hour print. This is a 3-hour print. So the missed minutes will be done in the morning. Oh, you're blue. Ooh, fancy. Hybotics. Aw, thank you. Should I print the Chaos Cortex Starro or go with something that's not a current fad? I don't think the Starro's a fad. You don't like go to reddit/r/3bp. Then you can find out what the current flavor of the month karma whoring print is. Like honestly, this is the top print on R3DP right now. Hey guys, I printed a cube in a filament that hides all defects. My biggest print so far. Actually, that's not a bad print. It's not. It doesn't look that big though. Oh. And it's a V0 going fast. I don't know. That's the thing with like this R3DP. It's either something really cool or it's something we've all seen a million times. It's a really nice enclosure for an Ender 3, but an Ender 3. The fire suppression system. So many people are afraid of their printers catching fire. So many people are afraid of their printers catching fire. And then hopefully you're printing ABS. If you're just printing like PLA, don't enclose your printer. There's a reason the top hat for my V0 is removable. I didn't screw it down. I can screw it down, but I don't. Because if you're printing PLA, you want as much airflow around the printer. Yeah, any 3D printer's dream, hide all defects. Exactly. Like, this is the, I printed this in the carbon fiber ultra PA nylon from Fadus. And like, carbon fiber nylon, you can't see any defects in it because it's got that texture. Also spray paint. It's like welding. Grinders and paint make me the welder I ain't. Or, you know, if you want to be all super hide all the defects, just start printing in resin. Because when you print in resin, it's just bang on perfect. Like, both of these are on Thangs. Like, you will never be able to print something like this on an FDM machine anywhere near that quality. Wait for your 0.001 millimeter nozzle. Good luck pushing plastic through that. What's the max flow rate on a Dragon high flow? Cap it at 30 just to be safe. And here's another thing. Like I've spoken to somebody about this. We had a discussion. What is flow rate? How do you measure flow rate in comparison of my hot end versus your hot end? The amount of filament per second per minute. Okay, so the flow rate is how much material you can push through it at once. But the thing is, how do you measure that equally across the board fairly? Because if you're talking the amount of material that you're pushing through, well, I'm printing with my 1.75 millimeter nozzle using a filament that basically turns to liquid at 300 degrees Celsius, and I've got dual LGXs paired up to really shove the filament through with a 84 millimeter NEMA 17 strap to it. Is like, what is the standard? Is everyone using 0.4 nozzles? Is everyone using the same extruder with the same pushing force at the same temperatures with the same filament? Yes, there are real world, obviously. So, you know, if you set your slicer for like 30 millimeters cubed a second, yeah, you should be fine. But when you see a company advertising, it's like CFM. There's like, or hot end, or it's a number. Take it with a grain of salt whenever you see it advertised, because there is no standard, as Raymond's just said. Yeah. So if I advertise my hot end as being 90 millimeters cubed a second, but that's also with a oversized fat nozzle at 300 degrees with a special blend of ABS that flows really well at high temperatures, using a really powerful extruder that can almost push cold plastic through the nozzle. Hey, how does that compare? So filaments vary so much. That's why you see all the speed bench guys using ABS. ABS flows better at higher temperatures. So they're basically overcooking the filament. So yeah, so always just take that with a grain of salt whenever you see advertised speeds or output capabilities of a hot end, because there is no set standard. So they can say whatever they want based off whatever they decided to test. So, because let's be honest, you know, I can grab a nozzle here, okay, and I can grab, you know, a 1.7 millimeter drill bit, drill it out, and then I can literally feed through unmelted filament as fast as I can push it through. Hey, look at my output, it's amazing. Well, does flow rate change mean Dragonfly high flow is better than a V6? Well, no, like here's the thing, a Dragon high flow will be able to print more filament, or be able to push more filament than a V6. The V6 is on the lower end. The Mosquito and the Dragon standard flows are a couple millimeter cubes a second better than a V6. A V6 with a copper block is a bit better than the aluminum block. It honestly all comes down to length of the melt zone and how good the material is at keeping resonant heat. So copper is better than aluminum, and the larger your melt zone is, the more you'll be able to push through. Simple as that. Max feed rate on the M4s, they'll keep up with 120 millimeters a second extrusion just fine. I don't have any M4s, and I never ran speed benches with my M4s, so I don't know how much they can go, but they are basically geared extruders that are dual feed, so you should be able to push them pretty hard. Has anyone switched to 3 millimeter? Don't use 3 millimeter filament. It's, you know, the filament is thicker. It's actually harder to print because it's more dense. Trying to evenly heat the whole cross section of it as it goes through the nozzle and through the melt zone is harder. That's why 1.75 is pretty much the standard now. Is you can extrude it quicker because you can melt the whole thickness quicker. If you're trying to extrude 3 millimeter fast, you'll run into issues where the outside of it is melting before the inside. The 188 loops. I think the 188 loops are now only used in the V2 Z modules. I think that's the only place we use belt loops still, is the Z modules. And for that, it's a size. It's just, that's, when you do the math for the distancing and everything, that's what the size works out to. So. Yes, I'm printing a Starro at 0.14 millimeter Fahrenheit. Oh my god, go away, bot. Beep boop. I don't even think I have a hammer in here. Yeah, I know. Hot girls are bad. Well, no, be fair. Hot girls and boys. Be fair. Do I have a Bitcoin wallet? I do not partake in the shenanigans that is coins and or NFTs. I do have a buy me a coffee link on my Twitter at 3dpnero, which if you're not following me on Twitter at 3dpnero, yeah. That I'm pretty sure I get pretty much everything, if I'm not mistaken. But I do not partake in the altcoin, Bitcoin, NFT, crypto, any of that stuff. I personally view it as get rich quick schemes. Yes, there are benefits to it, especially for people in countries where, you know, being able to make a living doing stuff online is not as easy because of laws and transferring money across countries, and crypto is good for situations like that. However, as a whole, I view crypto as mostly a pump and dump get rich quick scheme by people that are able to put a vast sum of money into it quickly and pull out when they can. So that's just me. Well, for the bots, like, I can ban phrases. The problem is, if you notice, the bots are spamming different phrases constantly. So I can't ban the phrase. Like, I can actually make, like, certain phrases and words banned in my chat, or at least they won't show up. They'll be auto-hidden. So, Philip, thank you for becoming a member. Well, technically it's not adult content. It's just an ad. Like, if they came in here, you know, if they came in and were spamming, like, you know, something like that, maybe you can argue that they're spamming adult stuff, but, you know, I don't think that counts. So, you don't see bots because we banned them. Can I ban the word petchy? No, some people need to make stuff out of water bottles at times. The bots have a name that advertise in an adult website, I'm assuming, and they're just spamming random characters so they don't get caught in a filter. Yeah, like, Stranger, I have nothing against crypto. I just view the majority of people are using it simply as basically a casino investment type thing. Hopefully buy low, sell high, and they're not using it for its intended purpose. Yes, I know there are people that use crypto, you know, especially in countries where you can't, you know, there's laws in place for, you know, getting foreign investment or transfer. You know, if I'm trying to support somebody in China for what they do, I can't really send them, you know, Canadian dollars. Crypto makes it easier. And yes, there are valid uses for crypto. I myself, though, view it in my situation as I don't really see a point in it. I view it as an investment, like as more of a gambling investment, but that's just me. So, did I hear about OnlyFans? Exactly. Like, guys, if you have not, only benchies, that is where you need to go. Because let's be honest, what do we use these machines for? Just only benchies. So you might as well go to onlybenchies.com and make sure you're subscribed to Only Benchies, because that's what matters in this day and age. Because if you need that hot printing action, Only Benchies. Well, in your case, I would get 100% of the donation. The thing is, though, then I would need to convert it to a a valuable asset. Like I would need to convert it to Canadian dollars. And then also the value of it is nowhere near stable. So you can give me a, you know, 0.28 Dogecoin today, and then tomorrow it's worth nothing. Like I used to have 40,000 Dogecoin. When Dogecoin started off, I mined 40,000 Dogecoin, and it sat at a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny for 7 years. And then all of a sudden I could have cashed out for like $30,000 at some point. But of course I didn't save any of it. I don't know where the wallet is. The wallet is on a hard drive that probably died 5 years ago. So, Disposable Elite, thank you for becoming a member. And I'm waiting on the Wix or the Squarespace sponsor so that I can actually set up a website with only benchies at some point. I need to buy that website off of you, Raymond. I know you grabbed it because I joked about it on stream and you grabbed it, but I do need to buy it off you once I set up an actual website. Molten ABS eventually cleans up. Yep, our injection presses at work purge like giant chunks of like molten ABS and other plastics that weigh like 100 pounds. It's cool. It looks like brains, only black. Should trade in empty filament spools. I have a stack outside this door here as tall as the ceiling of eSun spools. So I keep the eSun spools because I can use them for like this is an eSun spool. eSun spools have a nut and bolt through them. So what you do is you print a spacer and get a longer bolt, and you can use them for coils. So I don't need that many, but I'm like hoarding them. When's the spill? You know what? I got an email from one of a company representing Skillshare, and I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm down for it. And then they never replied. So I don't know. Although I am coming up on, oh geez, I think I'm coming up on another like notable number. Where is it? Yeah, I'm like almost at 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, oh god, I've done 217 videos. Oh my god. 2.5 million views. My YouTube account is from 2006. Yes, I have Warcraft videos, World of Warcraft videos on this channel from way back then. But look at this, 13,000. I'm almost in the top 13,000 YouTubers in Canada. I'm almost in the top 20,000 tech channels. I'm coming for you, Linus. LTT store, coming for you. Yeah. Oh. It does ban them. So here's the thing with the bots. They, you can change your account name. So like my YouTube account is actually like Naroga, which was my World of Warcraft character back in 2006. But you can actually change the name of your front-facing name on the YouTube account. So what the bots do is they just create random YouTube accounts, and then they change the name to the ad, and then they just spam chat, and they're bots, right? So you can't individually ban, you have to ban them as they come in, essentially. So, what parts should you not cheap out with the Voron? Motion, bearings, rails, get good motors. If you have any questions about what would be a good part, just reference the build guide or the sourcing guide. And if you want to spend more, buy LDO. Buy a good bed, buy a good heater. Make sure you don't cheap out. Get a Kinovo heater, for example. For a hot end, a V6, Triangle Labs or E3D. Get a Dragon, get a Dragonfly. Yeah. LTT is the 13th. He's got to be the largest tech channel in Canada, though. SSR, yes. Good. Buy a legit SSR. I did blow molding at the end of the day, cut off, solidifying the garbage can. Somebody has to cut. Ooh, that sucks. Yeah, hard ABS sucks. Usually, like, they purge it, and then it just turns into a giant mass, and then they just chuck the whole thing in the bin, which is why I don't recycle. all my 3D prints when I don't need them anymore, because I print a lot of stuff for like videos and whatnot, I legit garbage bin. I don't recycle any of my prints, because if I were to save every single thing that I've 3D printed and somehow miraculously turned it into 20 saved baby whales, the amount of material that I would have saved, like if I recycled everything I've thrown out in terms of plastic since I've started 3D printing, would equal probably about the waste from one tryout in my shop in half a day. So it's like it's a drop in the bucket. It's not worth it. Thought about the rat rig. Is asking about the rat rig a meme now? Because every time I see any live stream about printing, somebody asks about the rat rig V3. It's a Core XY printer. I'm sure it's fine. I don't have one. I don't know anyone that personally has one, so I can't comment on it. But it's a modern Core XY printer. I'm sure it's fine. So. I've thrown away. Yeah, like honestly, like spools. When I get down to a spool that just has like 1 or 2 windings left on it, I just chuck it. That's why I actually like the idea that the company in town is going with the bigger spools, because it's technically less waste, because you're going to have less of that little bit of remaining filament on it. So it's 1.8 kilograms because they sell it by the 600 meter length. So. It's because Teaching Tech made a series on it. Yeah, he did do a series on it, that's right. I don't watch a lot of Teaching Tech. I think I might still be subscribed to him. Like, I watched him way back when I got into 3D printing, but I don't watch him anymore. I don't know. Is content, like, I don't know. I don't aim my content at anyone. I just kind of do what I want to do in terms of content. Yeah, I do a lot of Clipper stuff, but that's because I want to do a lot of Clipper stuff. Because if I do Clipper videos, less people ask questions in the Discord. Because it's easier to just say, watch the video. So I do content that I want to do. So I don't do a lot of entry-level content. I haven't done a video on how to level your bed. I haven't done a video on how a hot end works. Like I assume you know the basics kind of thing. So he does do Clipper videos now. Yeah, I watched his video on how to tune a printer, and he did the order of operations wrong for pressure advance and input shaper. That was the last time I watched a video from him. I think Sparta only sells the 1 kilo. 1 kilogram is the standard. Splice the remains. I tried doing that once with I tried acetone welding, 2 spools together. It didn't work too well. Installation of Clipper. I have like 4 videos on installing Clipper at some point. Installing Clipper through like Fluid or Mainsail is so easy now. It's like just literally copy paste and then that. Has the Voron team ever considered a delta? If you ask Timit in chat, make sure you @ him. He will explain everything about deltas. Any experience with the Physec kits? Unfortunately, no, I have not. Is the Matter Hackers build series any good? The blue on Switchwire here is Matter Hackers build series, and it's good. It's good ABS. I don't know. I think the KVP is better, but in terms of like just a generic ABS, it's pretty good. Deltas are cool, but basically this does everything a Delta does, but better. You get your fixed bed, you get a better motion platform, yeah. Voron 5-axis win. It's after the Voron shower. Here's the thing with deltas. They're not space efficient. They're good space efficient on like the S and Y, but they're very tall for the amount of Z you get. They are extremely finicky machines. The build volume is circular, so DIYing beds and whatnot isn't as easy. You know, you could technically throw a square bed in, it doesn't matter. Yes, you can print fast, but you're limited on toolhead selection, pretty much Bowden. Because if you're going to build a Delta, you want to go fast, so don't slap something heavy on it because you won't be able to go fast, so then what's the point of having a Delta? And then also your geometry is funky. If you actually look at how accurate a Delta machine is, as the tool head moves closer to the bottom of one of the 3 pillars, its actual dimensional accuracy changes, and you have to compensate for that in firmware. So it's kind of like on a polar machine. If you think of a polar machine, you know, a figure skater spinning with their arms out versus their arms in. When the arms in, if one tick of a spin is more distance on the outside of a polar printer than the inside. It's kind of like that on a Delta. So as you move towards the towers, your accuracy changes. One step is a different distance in different locations of the bed. You can compensate for that in the firmware, but it's still a mechanical thing you got to compensate for. So, yeah. So that does everything a Delta does, but better. I still haven't done any full proper tuning on this. I think I did a pressure advance tune. I can't remember. It has input shaper. Or no, I haven't even done input shaper on here yet. Have I done input shaper on here? I can't even remember if this thing has input shaper yet. Edit. No, this does not have input shaper yet. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, I did do input shaper. Yeah, it does have input shaper. Yeah, we do have input shaper on here. That's right, we did do input shaper. Yes, this is an LDO V0 kit. How's the print coming on the Mingda? It's coming printingly. Yeah. It's a longer print, obviously. I'd show you the resin prints, but it's a resin printer, and they're boring as hell to watch, and you can't even see it because it's underwater. Or under resin. If you have to make a large printer, 400 400, would you make a Cartesian? Core XY, you can do big Core XY, but in my opinion, Core XY is a fast kinematic. So when you go big with a Core XY, you can't go as fast, so then what's the point of going Core XY? Have I done ABS? I have not, for the simple reason that that is a fully enclosed V2. That is a fully enclosed V2 that I don't have the panels on right now, because I need to put them back on. But that's a fully enclosed V2. That's a fully enclosed V1. I built my switch wire specifically as a dual extrusion. So if you notice, it's got 2 Bowden tubes. It's got a Y splitter internally. It is a dual extrusion PLA machine. I built it specifically not for ABS. Now, it will be getting a Enraged rabbit feeder, so 6 extrusions at some point, but it's still not going to be enclosed. So I have not. I know other people have, and it prints fine. But yeah, it's only a 24-volt bed, so you're not going to get the snappy snap heat up that a Mic 6 with a Canova will get. But think about it, if you're printing for 10 hours, is an extra 5 minutes on the heat up really that big of a deal? Fran, tips on non-input shaper tuning. If you go, I did a video on it, I live streamed it, it wasn't that good. You can do input shaper based off a test print, kind of like how you can do pressure advance based off a test print. However, it's nowhere near as accurate. Do I use firmware retraction? I do not. Think of a 2 meter by 4 meter. Actually, I seen a Modex today. The company I went to go see today on the field trip, they have a Modex, it's called? Modex? Modex. That's like a 1 meter printer. It's a big boy. It's got like a cross gantry system, dual motors for each axis. What kinematic do you like for large volumes? I don't have any large machines, so I can't say because I've never built one. Would it try to be overkill for PLA? Nope, just don't enclose it. Or if you do enclose it, if you were planning to print mostly PLA on any of the Vorons, doors open, if possible, take the top panel off. So if you were planning to mostly print PLA with the occasional ABS, put the top hat on a hinge so you can flip it up and just leave the doors open when you print. And then if you need to print ABS or any high temp material, then just close it up quickly. So that's why my V0 doesn't have a fixed top hat. If I were to improve on a Cartesian cell, build a switch wire. You can only do so much when you're slinging a bed around. Like, I've seen people put a dampener on the bed, like a counterweight, so that when like the bed moves one direction, a weight moves the other to try and stabilize things, but input shaper kind of takes care of that. Colored anodized extrusion. LDO, these are colored. That's red, obviously. You can get anodized extrusions, depends what size and from who. So. How's the resin print coming? 40% done. Actually, I think the resin's printing on the slow profile, not my, because I'm using Anycubic, it's not the Soraya Tech that I'm using, so. The Core XY UAVB, is that the printer that has the extruders on a separate, like, gantry above it and it like follows it around? I have seen that. I think it's neat. It's a cool project. I view that as like a trade show thing and massively overkill for home gamers. Like, yeah. For custom sizes, you would pretty much, you'd have to find somebody special for that. I don't know if you could contact LDO directly to ask for a taller Z extrusion, because it's really only 4 extrusions. It's only your Z extrusions. So it's only 4 extrusions you would need longer. So maybe if you contact them, they'll do that, but it depends. Because the thing is, they cut them and then they anodize them. It's not like they anodize whole lengths and then cut them to length. Unless you want to do yellow. You can get yellow extrusions from Misumi. Ooh. It bridged. Look at that bridge. Fucking perfect. The Staros crotchular region came in pretty good there. LDO won't do custom extrusion length without minimal order quantities being met. That makes perfect sense considering they don't make the extrusions, they get it from a supplier. So that makes perfect sense. So I have seen the proper printing video where he turned the CR10, was it? Yeah, into where the frame moved. So that kind of kinematic where the bed is fixed and you have a moving gantry on the Y makes a lot of sense if you are going to a very large format and you're okay printing slow, because you're minimizing moving mass, you have a consistent moving mass, and that way you're only moving a light gantry instead of flinging the whole massive bed back and forth. So that makes a lot of sense. Joel, 3D printing nerd, he had a machine like that, I'm pretty sure, where it was like the one that like Disney uses for props and whatnot, and he broke the bed on. That machine had a moving gantry, I believe, and same thing, right? If you're doing over a certain size and you don't need a lot of Z, but you need a lot of like Y, for example, having a machine like that makes sense. So. A good printer for speed and volume? Voron, why not? Custom extrusions 80/20 in Northern Indiana. Yeah, as long as they make metric spec within the that are spec for like the same spec as like a Misumi or an LDO extrusion, you should be okay. I'm looking to do a slightly taller. Tall boy here. Zoom. Nope, that's zoom. Zoom in. So right now it doesn't have its panels on. That is 400 millimeters of Z. So this is 400 millimeters of Z right here. Okay. So it's actually 330 by 330 by 400. I only have a 12-inch bed in it, simply for the fact that I haven't. I don't want to go buy another bed because originally Tallboy was a. It was a V1.5 when I originally built it. So when I built Tallboy, it was originally a 300 by 300 by 400 V1.5 with a bunch of mods. And then I ended up rebuilding it as a V2 because the V1 doesn't scale that well. So now it's 330 by 330 by, it's actually about 385 with the way the belts are and clearance at the top panel and whatnot. I could get more if I took the top panel off. So yeah. What are you doing with Tallboy? Not much. I use it for my big PLA prints actually at the moment. So like stuff like this guy. This was done on Tallboy. So I use Tallboy, and this is also another Thangs print, I believe. This is what I use Tallboy for. I use it for my large PLA prints and then also my large ABS prints. So yeah. And then V226 is my workhorse for ABS, and then this is my higher temp funky material printer. So the little mic, the reason the Z axis isn't the same is on the original V2.0, because remember, the frames are unchanged. So a V2 frame, if you had a V2.0 frame, it's the same frame as a V2.4. We don't change the frame size. However, now that the printer is direct feed and we have the belt chain or the drag chain in there, and you need clearance at the top for the tube and whatnot, we have lost Z over the time. So the original V2.0 250 actually had like 250 by it was like 247 by 253 by like 243 of Z or something like that. So it was close enough. But we've lost Z over time due to the fact that stuff has changed, unfortunately, and we want to make the frames all compatible across the line, right? We don't want to make people buy new frames constantly. Do I print with PETG? I have not printed PETG in over 3 years. The last thing I printed with PETG was the parts for my original Voron V1.5, and I printed those on my Monoprice Select Mini in January of 2018. That is the last time I printed PETG. I still have the spool up somewhere. Yeah, I still have the spool of PETG that I printed my first Voron off with. Somewhere. I gotta go find it, but I have it somewhere. The thing is, once you can print ABS very well, which you can on a Voron, if you're printing something cosmetic and shiny, PLA. Anything else, ABS. So, yeah. If you have the right environment, ABS shouldn't work. Like, what's a good example? I wish I had some of the... I did a really good print in ABS, but I don't have it anymore because I gave it to, like, I printed it for somebody. Most of these prints up here are ABS. This Thanos here, this is ABS. And there's the overhang for the chin, it's not bad. This is a Sparta 3D purple. The Vader's ABS, there's a lot of ABS. You can print ABS well. You just need a enclosed chamber. It just needs to be hot. ABS smells like melted ABS. It's hard. I don't smell it anymore because I'm so used to the smell of ABS. Does Raymond have a Voron? Yes, Raymond's on the team, so. I will say though, PETG is very good for vase mode. If you, when the Christmas rolls around and you need to print those Christmas tree vase mode prints, PETG all day. The problem is ABS or PLA is brittle, so I wouldn't print like car parts in PLA. Because it's brittle, it'll snap. Yeah, print for what your application is, and don't just look at the one stat. Because a lot of people look at like ABS and, oh, it's not as strong as PLA, it's garbage, right? Yes, but it also has higher temperature tolerances, more resistance. if you bend it, it will move back to its original position once the load is no longer applied, whereas other plastics will deform permanently. You want a little bit of springiness in some parts sometimes, because if you bend it, you want it to go back to normal with no damage, versus you bend it and now it's always bent forever. So there's strength, rigidity, ductility, malleability. There's all kinds of different properties of materials, and so many people get fixated on one. So. Don't tell the wife. Well, what you do is you take your smaller Vorons and you put them in your bigger Vorons, right? You hide them. On RC cars, I would polycarbonate or nylon. Nylon would no, nylon might be too weak. And once you add like CF nylon, you lose layer adhesion. Unless you go with like a PA16 nylon, I don't know. Yeah, KVP has been rocking it with their colors. Actually, what time is it? Oh shoot, it's like 10:10. Okay, we're gonna call a stream soon. It's getting a wee bit late. So yeah, we're gonna call a stream in like 5 minutes. So if anyone has any final questions before we call a stream, let me know. Throw a garbage bag. Honestly, I printed ABS parts for my original V2.0 on a V1 with a garbage bag over it. And it was just fine. What other strong materials? I've been printing, I have a bunch of nylon and polycarbonate, CF nylon, CF polycarbonate I've been playing with lately. I'm really liking that. That's what this guy is for. This guy is for like the hardened and the abrasive materials. How daunting is a stepper driver upgrade? Where did I put it? Oh yeah, I started moving stuff into this closet. Okay. Okay. So, let's see here. This is my V0 expander board, or V2 expander. So, it's got stepper drivers here. So what you do is you take the one stepper driver out, and then you take your new one and you plug it in. Now, obviously, depending on the board, you might have to play with some jumpers. You might also have to make sure you plug it in the right way, make sure you know the ground and the voltage pins are correct and everything lines up, because some drivers you have to put in backwards to other drivers. So don't always go off the picture, but they're plug and play. They plug in, they plug out. What would be the strongest filament to print with? Depends on the material, the environment, what the use case is and what you need to get out of it, and how big of a material, like how wide is the part, the dimensions of the part. There are way too many variables for that to be a question I can answer with a one-word answer. Because are you printing something that might have to bend a little bit and go back to normal? Are you printing something that can't bend at all or the part fails? Are you talking about something that is an inch thick? Or are you talking about something that's a millimeter thick? There is way too many things. And also, how are you printing it? Layer orientation, right? Are you required more of the strength along the layer line or across layer lines? If you need something that's across layer lines, so something like PETG might be the reason, because PETG has really good layer adhesion. Or if you need something long and flat, hey, that might be PLA or it might be a polycarbonate. Like it, yeah. How's the resin print doing? It's, oh, we can see some of it. It's being a resin printer. Yeah. It's resin printing. Lit a driver on fire by putting it in backwards. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, CNC Kitchen does a lot of good videos on like material strength and whatnot. The funny thing is, there are ABSs that are fine for UV resistant. There's a lot of automotive ABS that is UV resistant. ASA for the most part is ABS that's UV resistant. It's just formulated a bit different for more UV resistance. So, yeah. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. So, LDO has had issues with trying to get, the LDO kit comes with RTV. It comes with like grease and glue. The problem is they actually ran into, and this is one of those things, because LDO is trying to do the kits right and get everything certified. Trying to ship this kind of thing across a border in a kit is actually a problem, because this is like a chemical, and you need special certification and whatnot to ship chemicals across the border and whatnot. So the LDO V0 kits will come with your bed pre-applied, like the bed heater pre-applied to the bed, and it will also come with the RTV down. So this is on their Twitter, so follow LDO on Twitter if you're not. They have a little machine here that pre-applies the RTV around the bed with your thermal fuse pre-installed and everything. That is bloody cool. I just seen this pop up, so I'm watching this now for the first time. So it pre-applies it. That is cool. So good on them. Like, you could tell that LDO is like doing it right. Like, they're actually paying attention to this kind of thing. RTV printer, exactly. Oh. There we go. I told him to print a benchy with it. So that's cool. Yeah, follow LDO on Twitter if you're not. Jason's a good guy. Like, they're doing things proper. I would critique him if I could critique him. So, if you're not following me on Twitter, at 3DPNero. Okay, so I think we're gonna call it here. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my drink and go to bed. Can we design a printer that makes a Voron? Like, are you talking about if you design a printer on your own, can you call it a Voron? No. There's a whole actual thing behind what is a Voron. There's like a whole thing we keep in mind when we design things for Voron and whatnot. So you can't just, like, somebody the other day came out with a, I won't give details, but they came out with a Voron 2.5. They said, hey, I took the Voron 2.4, I made a bunch of changes to the CAD, I'm gonna call it a 2.5. And it's like, please don't, please don't. That's just gonna confuse people, and you're gonna get tons of questions about it. And you haven't even built it yet. You haven't even built a Voron yet. You just made a CAD model and called it a 2.5 because they put a bunch of upgrades in it that you think are needed. Yeah, please don't do that. So yeah, you can make any printer. If you want to make mods for Voron, go ahead. Just don't call it official, because that would just honestly confuse people. So. And if you happen to make something really cool and the Voron team takes a notice of it, hey, you might get on the team. That's how, you know, Hart's on the team. He's the guy who makes the Micron. Or Et for the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder. If you make cool shit, post it on the Discord, hey, the team might take notice. That's how you get on the Voron team. There's no official way to get on the team. We just kind of notice people and go, hey, you want to make cool shit? And you're on the team now. That's kind of how it works. So, or you could just be like me and we're around when things kind of started and it's like, hey, I'm already here. Well, okay. Actually redesign. That is the only thing, the only official release that I can claim is mine in terms of like Voron mods and whatnot is the jetpack. The standalone jetpack variant is mine. I'm the one who made the CAD and did the tweaks to the jetpack to make it a standalone model instead of the one that mounts behind the extruder. And nobody used the jetpacks. But the standalone jetpack, that is my thing. That is the one thing I've contributed to the team in terms of design. E2, you cannot. Yeah, V-wheels are not a proper motion system, because the thing is, you can't assume an aluminum extrusion is straight and true. We've seen so many Masumi extrusions that are twisted running V wheels on a twisted extrusion, you're gonna get issues. Because think about it, when you're printing, right, especially when you get a bed probe, right? I see it a lot of time people with Enders or V wheel type printers, where what happens is they do their bed mesh with a bed probe like a BL Touch, but then when they print, they still have like one area of the bed that's high or low, and it's like, why isn't this working? Well, what's happening is your carriage is running on an aluminum extrusion that's probably twisted. So as the carriage moves, it's twisting. So when you have your bed probe, it's not where your nozzle is. So when they're perfectly flat, when they're parallel or perpendicular to the bed, the nozzle, it probes with the probe, and then the nozzle is the same distance. The thing is, as your extrusion twists, they pivot. So now what you're probing for distance for your probe is going to be different from your nozzle, because your nozzle is now higher or lower on the Z-axis. We've seen this on Vorons with Misumi extrusions. So this is something we encountered over the years. So, and this is with strapping linear or steel rails to it to try and straighten them out. So imagine with nothing to try and straighten it out. V-wheels are a motion system. They're not the great motion system though. So, plus the problem with V-wheels is they are bulky as all hell. You have to encapsulate pretty much the whole extrusion. You can't make compact. You would never be able to make something anywhere near as compact as this with V-wheels. They're consumable. They don't last as long. You have issues with keeping tension. They are a cheap motion system, but you can buy an MGN 9 linear rail off AliExpress for 15 bucks. So, yeah. V-wheels are, in my opinion, the lowest motion system on a 3D printer, care of printing a bearing. Okay. V-wheels, linear rails or linear rods over short distances. Don't do linear rods long distance, because you can't support a linear rod mid-span. So once you get to a long distance, you'll have droop in the middle as the tool head moves across. It'll just droop. And then linear rails. So exo slides, I think, fall almost under the same issue as the V-wheel. They're probably a step up from the V-wheel, but they're still bulky. They encapsulate the whole extrusion, and you're still relying on an imperfect item as your motion guide, right? At least, you know, these are my old Z rails from my V1. These are 10 millimeter hardened H13 nitrided linear rods. These are accurate to within 1/10 of a thou over the entire length, and they are a 70 Rockwell. These are stiff AF, and they are straight. And yeah, this is a motion. You can make a motion system around this. This is a chunk of aluminum that was pushed through a die, and then it cooled down. And when metal cools, it can warp and contract. Usually, you know, it's controlled, but this is not an accurate precision thing. Aluminum extrusions weren't meant for a motion system. You can use them as a motion system, but there's better. So, anyway, they're better. It's not horrible. It's, you know, it is better than printing bearings, but there are better options. And it's a cheap setup. It's cheap, and there's a reason the cheap printers use it. Okay, somebody said hi. 3DHP, hello. Goodbye. I'm gonna end the stream now. So, for all those who hung out for the stream tonight, cheers. If you haven't entered the draw for the lighters for the main sale, release the engraved lighters with the main sale logo. EU only, European only folk. Sorry Brexit. Sorry everyone outside of EU, but no bueno. That's being done by the main sale folks. I'm just advertising it for them because they asked me to, because why not? For those two that won the Big Tree Tech Octopi, I will email you after the stream. You'll need to send me your contact info, and I will mail it out hopefully next week. What else? I want to give a shout out to Thangs again for sponsoring the show tonight. These fine folk here. Click the link in the description. Go print some awesome little itty bitty models, tabletop models. I'm printing a whole bunch of them right now. This was the one guy I printed from MZ 4250. Put it on my resin printer. So if you have a resin printer and you're looking for like models for like a D&D campaign, or you just like painting models, which I'm actually tempted to buy a kit and just try live streaming painting for the first time in like 10 years to see how bad I can do, and you can all laugh at me. If that's something you guys want me to do, let me know. We'll just have a night where I'll just try painting. Yeah, so make sure you check out Thangs. If you have not created an account there, create an account, like some things. Go on there. When you find something you like, hit the like button or save it or whatever. That feedback is good so they know what's going on. What else? Anyone who donated, you guys are awesome. Anyone who just watched the stream, you are awesome. But those that are most awesome are those that like the smash button. So if you want to be the most awesome, make sure you like the smash button on the way out. I finished my drink. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Everything's kind of going to shit again, so make sure you wash your hands. Be safe out there. And cheers. I'll post pictures of these on my Twitter at 3p Nero in the morning. So, peace. Okay, hey, don't go anywhere. If you stayed for the sparks, enter the draw in the link. I'm doing another octopus right now. You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If you stayed for the sparks, you got 2 minutes. Enter that draw. You have 2 minutes. We're doing an octopus. Canada, US only. So that says 5 minutes. I couldn't drop it down to 1. So when that says 3 minutes, we're doing a draw. Canada, US. Actually, 1 minute. You got until it says 1 minute, until it says 4 minutes. This is only for the people that stuck around to the end, because I know you guys like staying for the sparks. No, I'm giving you 30 seconds. Actually, 1 second, I gotta pull the contest information off that so nobody accidentally leaks any info. Okay, there we go. There we go. Don't want to lose anyone. Okay, come on, come on, come on. No, 2 minutes. Okay. Create the spreadsheet. Hopefully you're entered. Okay. God damn it, Tim. You're lucky I'm a nice guy, Tim. You're lucky I'm a nice guy. Okay, so all these people gotta go bye-bye. Okay. Where's the link? I posted it in chat. Oh, Jesus. Okay, here we go. 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 Boom. Rocco L. Rocco L. Rocco L. Congratulations. Rocco L. Congratulations, you done won yourself an octopus. Congratulations. Okay. Now, I probably won't do this again, so don't expect next time if you stay past the sparks for another chance. This was just kind of a spur of the moment thing, because I need to get rid of my pile of octopi somehow. So there'll be more giveaways in the future. Cheers.